Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the Tim Black Show. I'm your host, Tim Black. Give it up for that. What is happening? What's the goings-ons? How y'all feeling? It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's Freedom Friday right here on the Tim Black Show. Phone number's on the screen, 319-527-6212. Number you dial into if you got something you want to say tonight. Put your mouth on it. Put your words to it. Don't talk the talk, walk the talk. What up? I'd like to say hello to my people on YouTube, my people on Facebook, and my people on Periscope. Give it up for those people out there lurking about in the Tim Black, in the Wolfpack community. Tony D is in the house. Tony D is in the house. So is who's in the house? Gira, Mary Warren, Over 50 and Fabulous, Matthew Lagana, Kira, Nisi, David Melford. Like and share. Why not? Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, David Melford, for sharing this show. Sirius 76, Brian Crosby. What's up, Brian? We Curry Signs. Emerson Lamb, Nicholas Estrada. Sirius. All right. Mama Alaska. And, Lord have mercy. Ebony Fry, Kelly M in the house. Belinda. We got a lot of love on the YouTube side. YouTube folks in the house. What's up, Ryan? Plurality of One and Jonathan Silva. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. It's Freedom Friday. We get it in on Freedom Fridays, guys. Everybody pumped up. I know it's late, but we can still pump it up. Let's do this. Facebook people, how y'all doing? What's up, Facebook? Good morning, Facebook. You Facebook crooks. Let's see what we got here on Facebook land. Do we got some people in the house? Dolores and Suzette Humphrey in the house. Give it up for them. Yeah, sharing the show. Please share this out on Facebook. Julia Black, Michael Rutten. Thank you, Jackie. What's happening? Ryder Little John and Karen. What is going on? Robert, what up? Marcy, what's up? What's going on, Riley? Rita. There it is. Margarita Silver Potts is in the house. Donald Nicholas said Trump's going to jail. All right, we'll see about that. We shall see. Michael said the audio and video are good. Well, thank you, Michael Rudden. Appreciate you for communicating so we know what's happening. What's up, Gladys? How you doing, Gladys? What's going on, Brian Simmons? Much love. Tony Gibson in the house. Willem, what's up, brother? Man, you know what was crazy, guys? I watched, so last night after unwrapping the show, doing the show, doing some editing and everything, I was still round up a little bit, you know. Sometimes, like, your mind says, okay, you know, your body's like, I need to get some rest. But the mind's still working. If your mind's still working, you ain't gonna go to sleep. So I said, let me look around, see what's on. I'm clicking. Click. This is me clicking. Click. I finally got to this movie called The Founder. Right? The Founder. Anybody seen the movie The Founder with Michael Keaton? It's about McDonald's. Anybody seen this movie? Guys, it's kind of a harsh movie. You know what I mean? It's a little harsh, fam. Little harsh. You know what I'm saying? A little harsh, man. This guy, Ray Kroc, he like took the McDonald's idea and just took it. He just took the idea from the McDonald brothers. Just took their shit. He jacked them. I mean, he gave them money for it in the end, but he stole from them. He stole the idea, like he worked with them, like, hey, I'm your guy, I'm your friend, I love what you're doing, give me a chance to work with you, let me just help you take this to another height because this is such a great idea, I love what you guys are doing, mwah, 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 mwah. And it was just so he could get in and take it. And I'm watching, okay, this is great. And then it started taking because at the beginning, you didn't know he was going to take it. It just seemed like, okay, this is cool. This is all right. This guy's got the ambition and the work, the work hard, the work ethic, and okay. Well, I don't know why he's not listening to him. He's not listening to him. They're telling him certain stuff he wants to do, they don't want to do. They want milk in their milkshakes. He wants to put powdered milk because it'll save a couple bucks. No, this is still their show. This is still their Tim Black show. This is their show. They created this show. How are you gonna come and take their show and do this to their show? How dare you? Dude, I mean, it's a restaurant. The restaurant. I don't know, man. I just kept seeing myself in the movie. It's like these people get in with their tentacles. And they'll take over your idea. Before you know it, they find a loophole in a way and they could tie you up in court for the next 20 years and spin you into oblivion. And at the end, they stole McDonald's. So when I was a kid and we looked forward to going to McDonald's after church or after the hall, we went to a hall. They didn't even call it a church. We went to be different. Where we go, it's not a church, it's a hall. Dance hall. Bumper clut. We went to a hall, y'all. And we used to look forward to going to McDonald's. And that was better than that welfare burger Mom would make it with the regular old white bread with the ketchup seeping through like Eddie Murphy said. And you mean to tell me I was eating stolen hamburgers? We were all eating stolen hamburgers, man. And look, it's like, it's crazy because if he hadn't taken the idea of McDonald's, there wouldn't be McDonald's all over the world. You know, because he took it to it'd be something else. But it takes a guy like that, or a woman like that, a person like that, to be that self-serving and greedy and focused and driven and ambitious to take an idea and blow it up and make it huge. They have to be obsessed. Sort of like the Democratic Party wants to take away your democracy, and the Republican Party wants to allow GMs to take away your democracy. And corporate America wants to take away your ability to band together and unionize. And sort of like the news industries that want to take away your voice and want to force feed you these false narratives. And sort of like the way they do on social media, they want to take away your voice and keep you from being able to talk and express yourself and speak freely and use your First Amendment rights. And sort of like these gatekeepers that once you get in there, won't let you get in, make you jump through hoops and won't let you have a voice. It's sort of like these platforms that want to lock us out, keep us down, and won't let us be able to speak our truth to power. But sort of like these courts of law that want to let cops off the hook and not let them be held accountable. And sort of like everything else that's wrong in the country, and we fight it, and man, whew. It's a never-ending struggle. It's what it is, Johnson. It's a never-ending struggle, and all you can do is just fight. And then you have to go to sleep. You have to sleep it off because then you're tired. Finally, the mind is starting to relax. Now you can go to sleep, and like I did last night, as Ray Kroc was signing over that, giving them each $1.3 million for their share of the McDonald's Corporation. I went night-night. Went to sleep. Woke up and got me an Egg McMuffin for McDonald's, Johnson, because that's what enterprise is about. That's capitalism. Now, you know I ain't gonna get no damn Egg McMuffin, Johnson. Wow, what a movie though, guys. It's a condensed version of everything. It's everything. All right, guys, so it's Freedom Friday, as you know. Shows when you call in, you speak your truth to power. Voice your opinions. Get out news about a subject matter that may not be talked about, or just complain. People call up on this show and complain sometimes. Why not do it? Complain. It's okay. I got 3 stories because I still got some more complaining to do. Yeah, people say, Tim Black, all you do is complain. I think I do a little bit more than that. I hold a couple of interviews here and there. I had an interview today that aired today. John Mubaraka, you may have heard of him. Good interview, real substantive interview. Right? Okay. Not about parties, it's about policy, right? Then I had another interview with Delegate Janelle Wilkins. Give it up for Janelle Wilkins, you may have heard of her. On the issue I care very strongly about, which is ending qualified immunity. Now you haven't watched that yet, please go watch that video. It's on my YouTube channel. Amazing interview with an amazing lady. You want cops to be able to get punished for what they do when they kill unarmed black people? Well, we need to end qualified immunity. Can't just wish it to change. Can't just go, this is wrong, and throw stuff at your TV. No, we gotta change the laws, right? That's the only way we're gonna change it. You think the cop that blew Tamir Rice's brains out should have to pay for it? If not criminally, he should have to pay civilly, which is be bankrupt and lose his license to practice to be a police officer. Well, we got to do something about it besides be upset and be angry. We have to actually mobilize around the idea of taking away their ability to be inoculated from being civilly held liable. You get held liable if you run over someone's foot in your hover round, or your whatever that thing is, your Speedway, or what else those things. I got my son one of those things. You sit on it, you lean forward, and it's for lazy people. That thing, but it's fun. Looks fun. You tilt back to go back and side to go. You don't have to steer. It's nothing to hold on to. I'm too old not to have something to hold on to, though, Johnson. But if you went over somebody's foot in that and you break their toe, they're going to sue the hell out of you. But for some strange reason in America, you have to climb Mount Everest. Suing a cop is like climbing Mount Everest. If they blow you, if they make you paralyzed, they can shoot you for no reason other than they're having a bad day and they thought that your Subway sandwich was a bazooka. And you can't sue them. The chances of you winning a lawsuit against them and suing them are 99% against you. So in order for us to change that, we're going to have to change the laws, Johnson. So I hope that you would watch the video, part of a two-part series so far. At Ben & Jerry's, go to nqualifiedimmunity.com, nqualifiedimmunity.com. While talking Ben & Jerry's, you're the ice cream guys. They do a lot of other stuff besides make ice cream. So we do a lot more than just rant and rave on this show. Go be a part of that. Damn it. I want things to change, but I like watching Netflix too much. I want things to change, but, I just want to get mad and be angry and just, but we got to do stuff. We got to do stuff because my blood pressure gets too high, man. Eventually, I got to remove the problems. Tim Black's Wolfpack, eventually, we got to start working on removing the problems, y'all, because we can't leave this for our kids. We can't be like, well, Mom, Dad, America's so screwed up. Jesus Christ. Everything's wrong. The environment's wrong. The cops are killing us in the streets. And the food is nasty. Mashed potatoes all runny and the chicken tastes like wood. Saying that I'm good. I understand, baby bubba, but we're still friends. Until the hip hop, a hippie to the hippie, hip hip a hobby. She's like, Dad, I thought the world is so screwed up, Dad. Why didn't you guys fix it when you were coming up? Well, I would have fixed it, son. I really wanted to fix it. But there was really good stuff on Netflix. I had to watch that, man. I had to binge watch. The Office 3 times. I had to get into it, man. Had to do it. Had to watch Ozarks. I would have done it, but Ozarks was on, man. You understand, son? Now put your gas mask on and go to school. Come on, we gotta want better than that. Come on, Johnson. Dad, these cops are shooting me and my black friends in the ass. Just shooting us, Dad. Why didn't you fix it? Why didn't you end qualified immunity? Well, I really wanted to end it, son. Don't look at me like that. I wanted to end it. I was down to end it. They had a really good series called Power 3.0. I had to watch it, man. I had to watch Power 3.0, man. Had no time to be doing that stuff, man. You realize how great Snowfall is? I love Snowfall. I was busy, man. I was busy. They had a reboot of the reboot of the reboot. They had 3 reboots, man. They had 3 reboots. Coming to America. I had to watch them back to back to back. Worried about no ending qualified immunity. So that's the problem. So we can't let that be the case. In all seriousness, guys, that can't be the case. Go to TimBlackTV.com. Sign up, subscribe, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Be a part of the change you want to see in the world. Don't just be a part of the masses that watch the change. Let's be a part of combating the change, making the change. Let's be a part of being a voice in the change. Let's be the fly in the ointment. Let's fight back. Let's do what we can do. We can't do everything, but you can only do what you can do. But that's something. That's not doing nothing. All right, join the Wolfpack. Here we go, guys. Let's start with this. Okay, so I reported yesterday about the $15 minimum wage. I reported to you about this thing called a parliamentarian, which I thought it was just somebody who liked Parliament and the Funkadelics, like Bootsy Collins. Bam. That's the only worst place I heard Parliament. That and something with the UK or something. What's that got to do with my $15 minimum wage? Well, we're not exactly sure, Tim Black. Well, go get the Parliament to the planetarium. Bring her to me. Tell her come here, so I can hit her with a sock like Homie the Clown. Who's this person standing between me and my $15 minimum wage for my people, man? Who's this person? Elizabeth McDonald, I can't even pronounce her name. If I can't pronounce her name, how is she so powerful that she's gonna stand between me and the people and the $15 minimum wage? That don't even make damn sense. Does that make sense to you? Hey, Jake Tapper, you corporate tool. How are you selling to the people that this person we didn't know until yesterday is so powerful that they can stop the Democratic Party, who own the House, the Senate, and the presidency, from getting through what we need to get done? How are we supposed to believe that? And who are the morons that are buying this story? I have a clip I'd like to play for you as Bernie Sanders explaining his position as it comes to the parliamentarian person in this predicament.
About a setback that I just learned about an hour ago. As all of you know, all of us together have demanded an end to starvation wages in America. We know that a $7.25 federal minimum wage is insane. It is a starvation wage, and we got to raise it to at least $15 an hour over the next several years. Without boring you about the incredibly obtuse and undemocratic rules of the Senate, turns out that an unelected person, who's called a parliamentarian of the Senate, can determine whether the minimum wage provision was germane to the overall bill. And just an hour ago, or 2 hours ago, she ruled that it was not. It was not. And I strongly disagree with her. And we have the absurd situation. 60% of the American people in polls want to raise the minimum wage. House of Representatives has voted to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. President of the United States wants a $15 an hour minimum wage. And I believe that in a large package, we can barely, but we could do it, get the Senate to approve that. And yet you got an unelected parliamentarian using, because of the Senate rules that we have, saying that we cannot do it, denying 30 million Americans a pay raise. So we're going to deal with this. We're not. I don't want anybody out there to think that we're giving up. We got a number of ideas about how we're going to come back.
Okay. Okay, a little bit more context of what Bernie Sanders is discussing here. There's an article by the Rolling Stone by Jacqueline Martin of AP. But this is printed in the Rolling Stone, Jacqueline Martin. On Thursday, Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonald ruled that $15 minimum wage could not be included in the Democrats' $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill because they intend to pass it through the budget reconciliation process, which only requires a simple majority instead of trying to convince at least 10 Republicans to vote to support the cause. There's a bit of suspense in advance of McDonald's ruling. Reconciliation bills are subject to a thicket of arcane limitations. For each controversial provision, the Senate parliamentarian must find a path as if with a divining rod or announce after a mysterious interlude a doleful contemplation. Who are you writing this for? I mean, I don't mean no disrespect. As often as I get grammar chin-checked on Twitter. But Jesus! President Joe Biden's press secretary said he was disappointed in the outcome, but he respects the parliamentarians' decision and the Senate's process. Yeah, we know, Joe. We know. We know you're very disappointed. You probably only have 3 scoops of ice cream tonight with Din Din. And this person went on to write, Miss Jacqueline says, Biden may have been breathing a sigh of relief, though. McDonough's ruling offered cover to 2 Democratic senators who said they may not support the bill if it included the wage hike, Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kristen Sinema of Arizona. Now, Democrats have to choose between respecting some arcane Senate semi-rules and ensuring more than 1 million working Americans would no longer literally go hungry, and they seem somehow poised to pick the former. I take back everything I said, Jacqueline. That's it. Let me read this one more time for the people in the cheap seats. Democrats have to choose between respecting some arcane Senate semi-rules and ensuring that 1 million working Americans would no longer literally go hungry. And somehow they seem poised to pick the former. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Let me do this a couple ways. The wife wants you to put the money up for the kids to go to school. Oh, let's help her not go to school, to pay for the heat that keeps the kids warm in the house. She wants you to do that. Now, you should want to do it too, but let's say you're a complete asshole who doesn't really, you could go either way. Sometimes you like heat, sometimes you don't. But the wife wants you to do that. If you don't do it, she's gonna want a divorce. You're supposed to let the kids too. They're your kids. So they need heat. And you have to decide between getting the heat, keeping the heat on, or going down to the racetrack and blowing it all. On a hunch that 2-Foot Betsy. Horses always have really colorful names. 2-Foot Betsy or 2 Green Nichols Stanley. I don't know. Whirlwind. It's a better name, Tim. Whirlwind will come in and win. And the odds are really great. If you win, you're going to win a lot of money. Now, you can make that decision. You can make a decision to keep the heat on and keep the kids warm so the kids can perform their daily task and keep your marriage intact, keep everybody happy. And they're your kids and you're just supposed to love them. Or you can go down to the racetrack. Because, and here's the rub, because this is Whirlwind's last run. Now, if you choose to go down to the racetrack, which is what the Democrats appear like they want to be able to do. Right now, they're trying to talk you into it. Oh, baby, don't you understand? Don't you get it? It'd be great to go down to the racetrack. What if I win? There's got to be other ways we can keep the heat on. There's other things we could do to keep the heat on. I could start a fire in the backyard. A meteor could hit the sun, and the sun could shoot out rays that somehow heat the planet without killing us. We don't need heat then if the sun was closer to the earth. All these crazy ideas, so like the Democrats trying to come up with plan Bs and plan Cs, when all they got to do is keep the freaking heat on, pay the bill. Democrats don't want to pay the bill. They're looking for a way around paying the bill because it'd be easier. Be easier for them. It'd be more fun for them. I don't know what it is. I don't really understand. It's really not that cut and dry. Doesn't make sense. I can't come up with a perfect analogy for this because it's that stupid. It's that stupid. Now, it'd be different if you want an elected official. See, hold them accountable. According to Jacqueline, there are multiple options available to Biden if he is truly committed to the idea that he has said in a statement on the ruling. No one in this country should work full-time and live in poverty. The president could just ask Kamala Harris, the president of the Senate, to overrule the parliamentarian. That's it. All I've been hearing about is what Bernie could do. So all Kamala has to do is overrule the parliamentarian, and then we're back in business. That's it. I thought there was more to be done. I thought this was more complex. I read 3 pages yesterday, last night. Some of you were falling asleep watching the show on that segment. And all Kamala Harris has to do is overrule the parliamentarian by her lonesome. It says, in fact, the former parliamentarian has said it's entirely at the VP's discretion to listen to McDonough on a ruling like this or not. And there is ample historical precedent for not listening to the parliamentarian. Vice President Hubert Humphrey routinely ignored his parliamentarian's advice. So all Kamala Harris has to do is say, go sit down, Elizabeth. Get somewhere and sit down, Elizabeth. That's all she has to say. Kick rocks, Elizabeth. That's it. And it's game over like this. And then we have the $15 minimum wage in the budget. That's it. What's the problem? I don't understand what's the problem. There is no problem. Get up and go to work. That's it. Get up and go to work tomorrow. I got a problem. I need money. I gotta go to work. Okay, well, get up and go to work. Why aren't you going to work? I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't know why I'm not going. Get up and go to work. What's the problem? The dishes are piled up in the sink. Well, get up and wash the dishes. Well, I just can't. The dishes. Wash your fucking dishes. Kamala Harris. Ignore Elizabeth McDonald like you would ignore a whack dude at the club who bought you a drink, and get it going, sister. Go do your job. Prove I'm wrong when I said you were a corporate hack. Prove me wrong. Shame me. I want to be wrong. Make me wrong. Make me wrong, Kamala Harris. Make me wrong about you. Make me eat my words. I'll do it. Give me a little hot sauce, some salt and pepper, some condiments. Give me some honey mustard. Give me something out here. Hell, forget it. Just give me a fork. A fork and a napkin. I'll do it. This is like hot wings, man. I'll do it, man. Just get it going. I got no problem doing this. No problem. I'll eat my words. Do your damn job, lady. Do your job. A coalition of groups sent a letter, including the Women's March, Ultraviolet, CASA, and the Urban League, sent a letter to Biden Thursday urging him to exactly that. But Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, threw cold water on the idea earlier this week, saying the administration would honor the rules of the Senate. Ron Klain is garbage. We all knew when he hired Ron Klain that Ron Klain's the reason why Ron Klain is there is to do stuff like this. This is what his little doughboy gets the money for. Okay, this is why you got a Ron Klain. You may remember me, Ron. I remember you. If you don't remember me, that says a lot about you, but I remember you, Ron Klain. The other options that's available in Biden, he could ask Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to have the parliamentarian fired. That's what the GOP-controlled Senate did back in 2001 when the parliamentarian ruled that Bush tax cut could not be passed through a reconciliation process in circumstances nearly identical to this one. And that might be the redeeming quality some working-class voters see in the party. The GOP may be primarily concerned with cutting taxes for the wealthy, but at least when they say they're going to do something, they actually get the job done. I'm trying to understand, guys, why is this all being focused on Bernie Sanders? I grabbed the Bernie clip because I saw it was trending on Bernie. Bernie was trending saying, Bernie, don't kill it. Then I read the articles and it says Kamala and Biden could end this like that. So shouldn't we be talking to Kamala and Biden, not Bernie? Like I'm understand this. Look, if what Bernie's doing is taking the weights for them, he should not. He should get all the way out the way and allow them to look horrible. Bernie, if what's happened here is you are getting in the way of the fire that should be coming for Kamala and Biden, don't. They would not take a single solitary bit of incoming for you, Bernie Sanders. They would not take not even a little bit of criticism. They would not take this much criticism for you. They would not. Do not take any criticism for them. Do not take any weight for this. This is on Kamala. This is on Joe Biden. Precedent has been set. You overrule it and you keep on going. And then if Sinema and Manchin will not vote with the Democratic Party, you then turn the ire of the Democratic Party against Joe Manchin and against Sinema. And also, guys, it is Joe Biden at the end of the day who needs to use his bully pulpit, similar to the way that Donald Trump used his bully pulpit to force senators and to force governors to do his will. So, this problem is not a problem. It's a manufactured crisis. This ain't even a problem, Johnson. Oh, my arm hurts when I do like this. But don't do like that. Do like this. Oh, wow, feels better already. That's the type of problem we're dealing with. We're dealing with a fake problem. When I bend backwards like a pretzel, my back hurts. Why are you bending backwards like a pretzel? Bend forward. So we're going to get a lot of people to call in on this issue. I'm not going to beat this to death during this segment. We get what's going on. We understand it. If we don't, we should. There's a very simple solution to this problem. Part one of the solution is Bernie Sanders, get your ass out the way. Allow them to take the hit. Let Joe Manchin, Sinema person, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris go down with their own damn ship. I, for one, have not supported you all this time, Bernie, for you to take the hit for people who deserve to take their own hits. Let them take the hit for this. We don't need maneuvers. We don't need you to do nothing crazy, extravagant. This ain't blades. You got to throw it in the air, twist it around, catch it underneath, come back with a smooth move. We don't need to take it over no smooth jumps. This ain't Napoleon Dynamite. We don't need you to do anything special. We don't need you to get all, Generation X or Next, Extreme Sports. Right? We don't need that. We don't need you to join the UFC, go lock yourself in the dungeon, learn jiu-jitsu like Batman, or come back with a super fighting skill, go train with the samurai in the Himalayas. We need you to allow the full fury of the American people to rain down on the Democratic Party and allow them to make the bed. They've made the bed. Now allow them to lay in the bed and sleep in the bed they've made and make Kamala Harris, who likes to do her thing, let her go out there instead of walking in those shoes, them Timberlands. We want her to respect the people who actually wear Timberlands for a living and do the hard work. You say, oh, we patronize essential workers. Well, now it's time for you to not only patronize them, but to pay them. Pay them what they're worth. We're talking about, guys, $15 minimum wage, $15 minimum wage over 5 years, Johnson. That's basically $1 a year. You guys stop crying about it. Get it done. If I can pay it, you can pay it. I don't want to hear this shit no more about how it's going to hurt jobs. You don't know what it's going to do. We'll find out what it does when it does, what it did, or when it's done, and then we'll mitigate and we'll work from there. Don't tell me what it's going to do. All right, let's go to the next story. Let's keep it moving. We got phone lines to open up. Keep things a little bit tighter, a little looser. Let's loosen things up a little bit. Okay, CPAC, they held their convention. I thought it would be a totally virtual convention, but you know the Republican Party, they forget what kind of people they have for some reason. They wanted to have an in-person convention. I don't know how many people showed up. I don't know why you would do this to yourself, but they did it to themselves. This is horrific. This is bad. Here goes a little clip of CPAC where attendees boo the people putting on the convention. This is not Photoshop.
Does the Bill of Rights matter? The First Amendment, it matters. We conservatives believe in the rule of law because we know that when the law is enforced, our rights are protected. That's why we're doing such a big effort at this CPAC to talk about the Bill of Rights. But I also want to mention one thing, and I know this might sound like a little bit of a downer, but we also believe in property rights, and this is a private hotel. And we believe in the rule of law, so we need to comply with the laws of this county that we're in. But a private hotel, just like your house, gets to set its own rules. Carly, our CPAC director.
Well, as Dan mentioned, we are in a private facility, and we do want to be respectful of the ordinances that they have as their private property. So please, everyone, when you're in the ballroom, when you're seated, you should still be wearing a mask. So if everybody can go ahead, work on that. I know it's not the most fun.
You have the right. You have the right to set the own rules in your own house, and we're borrowing somebody else's house. So we need to comply with their rules. So thank you all for putting on your masks. I wear a mask when I'm in the halls, and we're going to comply with their rules.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good conference.
Hold on, this is Rich. Hold on. This is Rich. Okay, let's put this one up. How can I put this to make this make sense, guys? This weaselly-looking man, this man comes out, and he's trying to reason with these people. He's trying to talk sense to them. You know how when you are working with fire and there are things around that are combustible, you kind of want to clear the combustible things out the way and move the kerosene up on the away from the fire. Make sure the kids are not close to the fire. Why come the kids can't be close to the fire? He's trying to reason with. It's like he's trying to reason with the bear from the Reverend, the grizzly bear from the Reverend. It's like, hey, grizzly bear, hey, grizzly bear, man, hey, back at the car, I've got snacks. Bear's like, fuck your snacks. That's what it's like talking to these Republicans about rights and about you're in a building that people own and they have rules. Like rules for rules. Just hey, grizzly bear, hey, I got some honey. Look, I'm gonna go get the honey, right? Don't eat me. Don't maim me. Don't beat me, please don't dismember me. I've got some honey over here. Just let me go get it. I'll be right back. Let me use my phone. Let me use my phone to make a call. I can have some delivered by the Amazon. Can bring in some. They don't want to listen to you. They're not going to listen to you, weasel man. No, Ken. She's not much better. Hi, I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to be here. I'm a she's hiding behind the lectern. Oh, I don't know. She's trying to reason with a silverback gorilla. Hey, Silverback. Hi, Silverback. Hi, you know what would be really great, Silverback? Ow, God. It would be really great if you didn't dismember me in front of my children. I like K-pop. You like K-pop? I like K-pop. I like TikTok. You like TikTok? Listen, we can all TikTok together, but first, we're going to put on our mask so we don't kill each other. Let's put on our mask. This is them as angels floating up. That went well. Shut up, Susan. No, it went well. We did the right thing before they killed us. Going down. CPAC host. Ohio Treasurer Josh Mandel. Give it up for Josh Mandel and Carly Patrick. Embarrassing, guys. Look. This is your party. This is a party that you got. It's unfortunate, but these are your people, Johnson. Yeah, these are your people. So now you know these people are ignorant as hell. They don't care nothing about no damn rules. It says shirts and shoes required. People probably came in there butt naked with no mask and no clothes on at all. States' rights. This is the problem. Okay. My last story before we go to phone calls, and I'll try to make this sort of brief. Look, guys, we have a capitalistic system. We all know this, right? Everything's about money. Instead of calling it the United States of America, it should be called the United Corporations of America. Because everything's about money. Everything is about making sure the donors put the money in the bank, Johnson. Even for a former president, it's still about money. Obama recently started a Spotify show. I don't know if I'm ready for this, man. Like, I was used to when our corrupt politicians, when they retire, but they're supposed to just go and just go. How often do we have to put up with George W. Bush? Like, we survived 8 years of Obama, now it just goes away, right? Wrong. He's got a podcast with Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, and they're going to talk about stuff. Because they need a voice. Because evidently, somehow, Obama's thoughts were stifled as president. Yeah, he didn't really have a platform to discuss his ideas. The man was holding him down. Yeah, he couldn't speak truth to power, when he was president. Somehow he was unable to, really speak his mind. But now you can tell it like it's his ideas. Like it's his ideas. He even used the word shit on this podcast. I shit you not, Johnson. That's not news in itself for me. I wouldn't really comment on that shit if that's all it was. It's just, here goes the article. Obama says white resentment made reparations a non-starter during his presidency. Yeah. See, Barack Obama's read the room and he realizes, hey, Michelle, it's a lot of blacks. A lot of blacks are looking for reparations. Seems like maybe we should lean into this thing. Maybe if I lean into it a little bit. Hey, Sasha, You heard of ADOS? ADOS, not adios. ADOS, come on. Come on in. ADOS, maybe we should talk about ADOS. Dad, I really don't know what we should talk about. Don't embarrass me, Dad. You got any more papers? Former President Barack Obama said he supported reparations for African Americans, but decided the issue was a non-starter during his administration because of white resistance. He said reparations were justified, that there's not much question that the wealth of this country, the power of this country, was built in significant part, not exclusively, of course not exclusively, maybe not even the majority. But a large portion of it was built on the backs of slaves. He said not even the majority, Johnson. Slave labor was everything to this country. Indigenous land and slave labor was everything to this country. So you took the land by genociding the indigenous people, and then you took another indigenous people from another land and used them to work this land. For free, Johnson. The former president said even after slavery was abolished, the systemic oppression and discrimination of black Americans continued under Jim Crow. Despite that, Obama said he came to the conclusion that a push for reparations would go nowhere. And what I saw during my presidency was the politics of white resistance and resentment, the talk of welfare queens and the talk of undeserving poor and the backlash against affirmative action. All that made the prospect of actually proposing any kind of coherent, meaningful reparations program struck me as politically not only a non-starter, but potentially counterproductive. Here we go, guys. So what Obama wants you to believe is that he couldn't do it because white people. Yeah, he couldn't, it was a non-starter because white folks. That's the problem. We just need to give it all the whites. Yeah, just all the white people stopped him from doing the right thing. Johnson, he didn't even try to do the right thing. So let me get this right. You're the first black president. Stop, ADOS, stop. Well, Tim, he's not really black. He's just half black. His mom is white and his dad is from Africa. Stop. People just look at you. They don't go, what's your DNA resume? They just look at you. So let's just use their looks. Let's just use how people look, okay? But technically, I know, I heard you. But what Obama's saying is that he wouldn't do the right thing because it was unpopular. He would not push for the right thing because it was unpopular with white folks. But the Democratic Party can't win without black votes. So we find ourselves in a quandary, and he made a decision. He said, well, we'll probably still win because for some strange reason, even though it's the right thing for black folks to get reparations, it's okay if they don't get it, or even if I don't even force the issue, because white people don't want to give it to them. So we're just going to go with the white people because it's more white people, so we'll just go with them. And so what he's saying is he was never interested in fighting for what needs to be fought for if he had to take a political hit. Excuse me, guys, but the fact that you are a black president, you're already taking a political hit. You would take a political hit the entire time. At least then you could have been hit by something or hit for something that put you on the right side of history instead of drone attacks, kids in cages, the surveillance state, nuclear proliferation, a host of other issues that you are really on the hook for. For the life of me, man, I don't understand how people can get this guy a pass on this. If you are the most powerful person in the room and you don't push for what's right and you say you don't do it because you don't have the power to do it, if it's not you, then who would have the power to do it? Mr. President Obama, who would have the power to do it if it's not you? And see, we got to listen to you know how many long, drawn-out speeches we had to hear from from Michelle Obama about, well, you know, people are just people. People are just people, and changes need to happen. And if we would all just work together and stop pointing fingers at one another, these long, drawn-out speeches. Meanwhile, when it's your husband and you who can do things on a level that average Americans can't do, you have a bunch of excuses. See, there's a lot of excuses when it's up to them, when they can do the thing that pushes the ball further down. I'm not saying they would have got reparations done. I'm not saying that. I'm not even holding them to that standard. What I'm saying is the closest we could have got to it could have been under him, and it should have been. It should have been under him. It makes only perfect sense that it would, but it didn't. And that makes perfect sense as well. Because if you don't want black people to succeed, the best way to make sure of that is to put a black person in charge. They provide the cover, the plausible deniability, and the distraction in order to keep all forces at bay and enable the country to continue, and for the powers that be to continue to not do what's right for black folks. That's the game. That's the game they've been playing since day one, and they will continue to play this game. Unfortunately, guys, the best chance we had of getting this done, and people don't want to hear it, was Trump. Trump was the best opportunity of getting this done, and that was still a shot in hell. That was still trying to get ice water in a firestorm. That's still, I'm not saying that's likely at all, but at least Donald Trump was the actual rebel who did not give a shit. Okay? At least that was his demeanor. Okay? That was the facade. Obama, this is the right thing to do, just won't do it. Can't expect me to do things I'm not, it's not going to be successful. It's not going to help my legacy. It's all about my legacy. My legacy don't look good. Don't look good if a bunch of white people don't like me. Can't go make the money on Spotify if I piss off the whites. So, hey, put your pants up, Pookie. Put your pants up. Hey, I'm a millionaire. Hey, I made money. Hey, here's a consolation prize. I'm rich. No, you didn't get shit, but I did. So live through me, Live through me. Live through me and Michelle, Feel good about us. Look at us. Look at your refrigerator and go, oh shit, there's nothing in there. But then look at us and go, wow, there's food over there. At least they got food. Hey, come on now. At least Obama and them are doing well. Hey, everybody's not downtrodden. I feel better. Hey, I don't have health insurance, but Obama does, so that's good. We still had that black president. When you die, you can know, hey, at least the president was black that time. Remember that time? People's president was black president. Yeah, so, hey, put your pants up, Pookie. Feel better. Feel better about it, Pookie. It's okay. Me and Michelle doing all right. Got Netflix deals. Got Spotify deals. Got a big house build. Keeping it real. Got all that skill. All right. You don't know where your next meal's coming from? It's okay. Obama out. It is what it is. There were some of us who were critical of Obama while Obama was in office. There were those who were kissing his ass, his white ass. That's what they were doing, Johnson. Now, some of you are new. Some of you are new. You don't know that. There are people right now. They do this, so they just keep getting new people. For some reason, the algorithm treats them really nice. Because they just keep getting new people. Old people that realize they're grifters and liars and ass kissers, they leave, and then somehow new people keep coming into the fold. See, there were people right there that are very popular who a couple years ago were kissing Obama's ass, weren't like this, weren't calling Obama out like I am right now. They weren't doing it. And now they're selling themselves as revolutionaries, tough talkers. They never go against the Democratic establishment. Not really. because that's where they feed at. And you keep falling for it, you continue to fall for it. The lies. And you won't go back in their catalog and find out, hey, they were garbage. Hey, they let Obama do this. They didn't talk about the 7 wars. They didn't talk about this. No, they didn't. And you reward them now because they say something sort of kind of progressive. At last count, Spotify was worth $50 billion, gobbling up podcasts and cutting deals to the tune of $500 million, including partnerships with Kim Kardashian, Joe Rogan, Warner Brothers, and of course the Obama's production company, including Michelle Obama's, whose deal preceded Barack's. Is anybody out there dumb enough to think this ain't about money? I got a bridge to sell you. Hell, I don't even need a bridge. Let's just say I got a planet I found that I'm going to sell you. Because you believe anything, Johnson. You're worse than the McDonald's brothers. The Golden Arches. All right, guys, I'm Tim Black. Stay here, stay put. We're going to go to a break, come back, go to phone calls, get people in line. Let's make it happen. Wolfpack.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate You're from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We are back. We are back. We are back. We're ready to do this. Let's get this going. First call in the queue is a 206 number. 206, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, hey, Tim.
Hey.
This is 206. Let me turn down the YouTube video. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that I was first in line, but I got a lot to say. And anyways, I can't hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go right ahead.
Oh, good. Okay, so this is What Up America. I'm a big friend of Kamali Rose. I just want to say you had an awesome interview with Ajamu today, and that's kind of my first introduction to that guy. So I thought he was really keyed into the issues that we all care about, and so the main thing that I wanted to call about was that I'm a big environmentalist. That's kind of like what got me politically activated. But I feel like there's sort of like this drama or like some sort of like, collision between the environmental movement and the Black Lives Matter movement, because, there's like a lot of these white folks who are environmentalists, but they just kind of don't really get the picture about, racial issues and that kind of thing. And, I care about both. They're both my top priority. They share the same status in my mind, where I'm just like, I care about racial issues, environmental issues. I see them as linked. But, we have these policies that come out where you have, on the one hand, reparations, which affect, Black people and Indigenous people, Native Americans specifically. And then you have these sort of for all policies that affect everybody equally. But I'm just thinking, like, if you affect everybody equally, people who are marginalized are still going to be on the bottom of that, right? Because you're basically raising everybody up at the same time, and the people who are still screwed by society are still going to be screwed at the same level, right? You're basically raising all boats at the same time, and the boats at the bottom are, you get what I'm saying. So, and then the other thing, this is just a couple more things. So I'm a huge environmentalist. I think that we need to address plastic pollution, and by raising the price of virgin plastic above the price of recycled plastic, because that would stop companies from being able to use virgin plastic, which is new plastic that we're just putting into the world. So that's my big thing. But I really thank you for the platform, and I think that is so cool. Keep it up, Tim. And you cracked me up tonight so much. You are a profound thinker, and I thank you very much for everything.
Well, hey, look, thank you, my brother, for the phone call, man. We appreciate it, and it's great having you. Thank you for the phone call. Give it up for our caller, guys. Give it up for our caller. Yeah. What's up, Kamali Rose? And I got to say this, man, because it needs to be said in two things. One thing is this. First of all, reparations is about Black people, American descendants of slaves. This ain't about indigenous folks. It's just not, okay? Native Americans deserve compensation. They deserve to have reparations in their name. That's true. I support that as well. I support multiple causes, but I support each cause on its own merits. So don't you fall into the trap of trying to mitigate or explain or make people feel better in any type of way for why you believe what you believe and your stances on these issues. That's part of being all in on a cause. Next thing. Look, man, don't expect your environmentalist friends to be down with your Black issues. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Either pick and choose, either pick to decide to be an environmentalist and you're going to roll with and develop or spend all your time there, or be in the support of reparations or Black issues and stay there and say, this is where I'm planting my flag. But when you try to mesh the two, what I'm saying is you can support both. You can support both yourself, but don't expect a person to just naturally fight for all causes at one time. And what I'm trying to say, let me put it this way. If you can support reparations, or if you can support Black issues, restorative justice issues for Black folks, and support environmental issues and keep them compartmentalized where you're not looking at your environmental friends going, why aren't you supporting reparations? Why aren't you? See, I was doing that. I know this. I learned this the hard way myself, because I'm like, these people want to fight for these issues, all these other issues, but not fighting for the issues of Black issues. They don't have to. That's my calling. That's what I'm doing. And if they don't want to do it, fine. Everybody doesn't have to support everything. Get what I'm saying? And all I was doing was All I was doing was creating more barriers, right? So what I've done is, look, I decided that if you don't support these issues, you don't have to. I'm going to support them. As long as you don't get in my way with what I support, and as long as you're not an obstacle to what my support is, then we're good. Yeah, I don't have to convert everyone. What I have to do is what I feel is right and just in furthering the causes that I care about. It's not everyone's not going to listen, man. Everyone's not going to turn. Everyone's not going to jump on board, and that's okay. Take who you got. Don't spend your time trying to, and so that's what my advice is. Okay, that's my advice in this, and it's the only way that I can maintain sanity. If I could tell you how many people supported Julian Assange who don't support reparations, who are living. Tim, you stop cuddling Julian Assange. I've never seen them ever tweet anything out about reparations, about black issues, about George Floyd, about police brutality, about economics, about income equality, about lowering the gap, the wealth gap, the racial wealth gap. Nothing ever from them at all, ever. But they still felt it was their right to give me shit for not covering Julian Assange's every move. You understand? So there is a huge hypocrisy. These people do not practice what they preach. And what I'm telling you is they're created. It's not as if I don't care about Julian Assange. It's not like I don't care about the surveillance state. It's not like I don't care about censorship. It's not like I don't care about people's rights. I do. That's why I cover it. But I also care about reparations. So look, man, just do you. Fight for what you care about. And those people who don't fight with you, don't join you, either cut them off or respect that they're in another lane. And I'm going to leave it there. It's what you got to do. Or you'd be at war with everybody. I'd be at war with everybody if I didn't do that. All right. Next call, I got a 408 number in the queue. 408, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Pip.
Hey.
It's Alex from Berkeley. Hey.
Hey.
I heard Biden called your show last week. I'm proud of you, Tim. Anyways, Biden pissed me off this week, probably more this week than any other week. Shocker. So it's time for another Biden rant. You know, you ever know for a fact that you're right about something and some people think you're wrong? And like a month later, you get proved right, and you wish you were more loud about it. Yeah, so it's been a month. People were giving Biden some rope, and then he hung us all with that rope. So it was kids in cages under Trump. Now it's facility for migrant children under Biden. Like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of Latino families are feeling that harm reduction vote now, huh? Like, Biden approved like $285 million of Raytheon weapons buys. Still no checks for people, still no rent forgiveness, still no student loan forgiveness even on the table. And he's talking about how the $15 minimum wage looks like it's going to be officially removed out of his first legislative package. Whoops. Whoopsie daisies. Harm reduced. But Tim, wasn't it worth it for all that MAGA cope? Yeah, totally worth it. Yeah, totally worth it, dude. Yeah, and guess who's going to be coping in 4 to 8 years? 2024, time for some liberal cope now. Bullshit. It's all bullshit gotcha politics that advance absolutely nothing for the working class and marginalized people. Like, okay, oh yeah, and Biden also decided that shit about telling ICE to stop breaking up families and putting families in cages. That lasted for about 2 weeks. And then he gave new executive orders to ICE completely undoing all that and letting them go back to just busting down people's doors and grabbing people and deporting them carte blanche. Yeah, harm reduced. And, oh, and a side note, he just bombed Syria. Like, we're about to go to war. But, yeah, but Trump, though. It's like, what? What? Under Trump, we were all sitting around going like, where's the stimulus? Where's the rent forgiveness? Where's the student debt forgiveness? And now, under Biden, we're doing the exact same thing. Well, overall, what? Overall, Raytheon just got $300 million. Overall, we're not getting anything. We're not getting any student loan protection. We're not getting any rent forgiveness. We're not getting any kind of assistance. during a time when you're asked to stay at home from your job. How is that any different from Trump? I'll wait. Oh, nothing will fundamentally change under my administration, Jack. There's your Biden quote for the day. You gotta love how complacent the left became in America. If we accept nothing now, we accept nothing later. He said that. He said those words and we didn't pressure him. So a disappointing lib presidency is going to, what, serve us in the long run? It's going to serve us another 8-year administration if Biden doesn't get on, if he doesn't ignore everyone who's telling him to go buy the books and just, he doesn't have to listen to anybody. Biden and Kamala Harris can just eliminate student debt like that. They can do whatever they want. All they have to do is just want it to happen. Like if Trump taught us anything, you can do whatever you want. Just go on Twitter and get all of your fans to just pound on these people and just go crazy. Yeah, harm reduction. Go tell that to the people who are looking down the barrel of owing a year's worth of rent that they can't come up with. Go tell the people sitting at home right now wondering what they're going to do about this month's bills, because there's been absolutely no assistance everywhere. Without a livable wage, some people make less than $7.25 because some southern states skirt around the federal minimum wage by just paying them under the table. That's how illegal immigrants are paid. It's 4 years. In 4 years, when all the people who look at Biden rightfully with rage over how he didn't help them, they're just going to go, maybe I should vote for the other side now. That's what happens every 4 to 8 years. Honestly, Dems deserve to lose every election until they just put up a true leftist. Democrats lost this election. I know the media says we won, but no. We basically elected a neoconservative and a proponent of austerity and racial segregation. How is that not a Republican? So we lost again this year. There was a center-right conservative and a far-right conservative. Whoops, we lost. And this is bigger than I hate Biden. The government doesn't work for us anymore, and we got to fix that. So, Nina Turner 2024. Anyways, I needed to yell about that because it's my birthday, and I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I didn't get that off my chest. So thank you, Tim. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Thank you, Alex, y'all. Give it up for Alex from Berkeley. Give it up. My brother. Happy birthday, Alex. Happy birthday. I want to buy you a beer, Alex. The whole Wolfpack wants to buy you a beer, Alex. Wow, what a way to go. What a way to do it, Alex. Wow. And Alex, I just say, brother, I agree with you so much about some of the things we learned from Trump, and one of them is the use of that bully pulpit, brother. The power of the pulpit. No one could ever again say, I'm just the president. What could I do? Oh, little old me. What could I get done? I don't have the power. I don't care. I don't want to be a fascist. All you got to do is use Twitter. All you got to do is use Twitter, Facebook. Lean on them like Fat Joe and get it done, Johnson. But see, the truth is, Trump was vastly more popular than Joe Biden. So I'm going to go to the next call, 309. Where's my 309? There we go, 309, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Who's this?
Hey, this is Mo. How you doing?
Hey, Mo, what's up, brother? What's on your mind?
Oh, man. Honestly, too much, because I started to write down, just try to highlight some thoughts, and there is just so much going on right now, and it's all everything's changing, and it's kind of disappointment at every corner, right? And the pace of it all is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. It's just a right and left everywhere you look where there should be a sign of essentially hope and wisdom in policy and in our leadership, where you think you might get a sign every now and then. It's demoralizing, after a while. So anyway, like I said, I wrote down way too many things, and so I'll just try to pick a few here. And by the way, just absolutely love your show. There's been some other shows that I've watched before yours that I've kind of dropped off of because I just think you do come at everything a bit more honestly and a lot more logically that works for me. And you know who some of those other entertainers are. So anyway, I guess maybe a question that I have for you, and you've probably kind of thought on this before in your show at some point, but maybe I missed it. But I'm just curious about how, if over time we see all of these signs that perhaps, as cliche as it sounds, perhaps corporate capture really did reach such a critical mass at some point in our country's history that we quite literally have already lost. That, like, to the point that any move we make can very easily and very swiftly be worked against in any number of ways, because again, if it's capture, it's capture. It's either corporate capture or it's not. So if we believe it's not, then we're working hard against it in every manner in our government to try and just get the corruption out, is what I'm getting at. There's corruption everywhere, correct? So if corruption is everywhere you look, in every organization and every part of our government, then wouldn't that mean that it's possible that there is such a thing as critical mass of corporate capture that you can't recover from? Is that a possibility? Because it seems like a possibility these days.
Okay. What other comment do you have before we answer that? We'll answer that at the end. Anything else?
Okay. So yeah. So I guess the follow up to that is how much would any of us really be able to, I guess, demonize the people on the right, which I'm not there. That's not where I'm at personally. And I feel okay about that. But I do stop a lot short of demonizing those on the right who, yes, they stood up in such an incorrect manner, the way that they basically banded together and put their energy towards something that had a little bit of grit to it. It just had way too much, and it just wasn't done right. And it was not a super clear message, and it was a mess. But the bottom line is they did kind of stand up in more of that anti-corporate general strike, hitting the streets type manner that we saw in the summer when everyone was getting beaten down right and left. Obviously, we don't have to go over that. Everybody saw what they saw. But it was disappointing, right? All summer long, I was disappointed in what I was seeing. And it also, to me, I could tie everything back to corruption. Like, for the police to treat our people that way, for the, you know what I mean? For the National Guard to come in and fly helicopters 40 feet over people's head to just purely to intimidate them. That wasn't a situation happening in that spot, in that area, when you have a National Guard helicopter over protesters' heads. Me personally, I'm never going to forget that. And that doesn't mean that I'm demonizing people in the National Guard, but their organization, I don't know. That looks pretty rotten to me. And it's rotten like everything else is rotten. So I'll shut up, but I appreciate your show and appreciate you giving me a minute here.
No problem, brother. Thank you for the phone call. And I think that, like, sometimes, guys, hey, look, here, check it out, Mo. Sometimes, Mo, it's really not a response to it that's going to fit what I'll say. Sometimes it's just voicing your opinion and voicing the question or making the statement, because you kind of asked a question, but you really didn't. But that's okay, because you got your idea out of your head and into the world, and a lot of people are listening right now and just starting conversations. And sometimes that's all you can ask for. I'll tell you this, when I've had conversations with people like Cornel West or Jamu Baraka, one of the things that Cornel West has told me is that not all our changes can be made at the electoral level. So basically, politics is not the remedy for all of our problems. It just can't be because of the corruption of the structures that we're going up against, particularly general elections or national politics at the federal level. That's why, in order to maintain sanity for myself and to also to have a what's in it for me or some tangible type of goal for this channel other than we're just mad, I had to start looking at causes that I think I can have an impact on. And one of those causes is ending qualified immunity. Because you can start on the state level and we can do something about cops. I think the only way to stop cops from shooting unarmed people, unarmed black people, unarmed white people, unarmed Latino people, is to make those cops lose their pensions, lose their homes, go bankrupt like anybody else would who wrongfully killed somebody. So we can get that done on a local level, on a state level. Is there going to be opposition? Yeah, but it's not the same thing as waiting around for an election every 2 or 4 years on the, and going hoping we can get somebody in the Senate or to try to change the president. Then there's also, we talk about student debt, we talk about legalizing cannabis, and we talk about allocation of resources as far as like infrastructure and government programs. I come from D.C. I live in Maryland now, but I remember when Mayor Marion Barry used to give 20%, 30% of government contracts to black small businesses. That's not a thought. That's what he did. And then people say, well, why people vote for a crackhead? That crackhead actually lifted the pen and did orders that got small businesses, enable black people to start businesses in D.C. So there are things you can get done on a local level. That's all I'm going to suggest is that we have to look at what we're fighting for, realize the daunting level of it, the corporate power, as you pointed out. You said the corporate capture, the critical mass, okay? Yeah, recognize that, but recognize that there are many avenues and there are many different ways to fight back. And I will say that we have to be creative and we have to look at more pieces of the pie. And that may include being involved in your school board. That may call for you to maybe run for state legislature. There's many other things to do besides to look at the squad and say, squad, why is the squad doing what I want them to do? Yeah, that increases my viewership. That's great. I need to keep the show going. But in your everyday life, there's a lot of stuff we can do. So I'm going to leave it there, Mo. Thanks for the phone call. I'm going to go to the next call, 210. You're in the queue. 210, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what up, Tim? This is Rolando from San Antonio, Texas, or that pops up on my Facebook profile, Raleigh Villarreal. Anyway, brother, I just wanted to comment on. I just wanted to speak on the food stamp thing you brought up on your monologue. So when I was a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s in a small town called Alice in South Texas, they gave us paper food stamps and free cheese. I mean, I don't see color, but I assume I'm Chicano because my mom made the best enchiladas I've ever had to this day, Johnson, with that cheese. I mean, it was fire. I mean, that's why I support government assistance. I mean, trust me, Johnson. Walking the streets in the 80s and 90s, my community was a lot safer with me having a belly full of cheese enchiladas. Anyway, Johnson, that's all I got, man. Keep it up, brother. Love you.
Good up for Raleigh, man. Rolando, that's what's up, man. And Rolando's comment is very inspiring because I know a little bit about that government cheese, brother. That stuff took a long time to melt, man. Your mama worked miracles with that, baby. You know how much bread I messed up with that and the peanut butter? Man. Yeah. But what's inspiring also about Rolando's call is that means the Facebook people are calling into the show too now, because he's from Facebook land. I shout him out on Facebook, so that's what's up, man. Thank you, Facebook people, for sharing the show on Facebook. Zuckerberg don't like me, but you do, and I appreciate it. Wolfpack. All right, 980, you're next. What's your name? What's your comment? 980.
Hey, Tim, it's Andre. How you doing?
What's up, Andre? What's on your mind?
You know, I'm from Panama, and in the Caribbean, we have a word called vexed. And I would say that vex is the best word that I can use right now when I see all the shenanigans that's going on. Just like a few of the other callers, that if you could have screamed this louder before, you would have, because you kind of knew what was coming and you tried to tell everybody, and nobody the hell will listen. And they tried to gaslight you and tell you that you were crazy, that you were fighting against the good side and that you were with the bad side. And you were saying, like, no, they're both bad, just that this is pretending not to be so bad. But anyway, and now we're here, we're seeing all of this happen, all of this nonsense. And I had somebody that just made me blow a gasket a few days ago, went and sent me a text message with some screen capture, somebody trying to make excuses for Biden and his people, saying, but him just get started and to give him a chance and this and that and whatnot. And I just had to reply to that and say, look, the people at home right now that don't know where their next meal is coming from, that don't know if they're going to even have a roof to eat that meal under, that don't have a job and haven't had a job for a year, they don't care about his excuses. All they know is that they went out and they put the last ounce of trust that they had in some government institution to go and vote for that man and everyone else they voted for. All those black women and Latino women that went out in all sorts of weather to try and conjure that vote up for that man, that's all they know. That's all they know. For him to come up with excuses, for him to go on national TV and cross his legs and his arms and say, I can't do it. Not once, but twice that I was able to listen to. How are you going to do that to people? How long you think that people are going to sit there and continue to vote for the lesser of two evils? Because you know how much trust, how much convincing of oneself, after knowing in your heart to heart that this government is not representing you, is not doing a thing for you, you say, I'm going to try again. And you have this man coming out on a town hall and saying, no, I'm not going to do it. What? I feel like cursing, but I'm not going to. But how you... This psychopathy that you need to have to go and tell people what you are not going to do for them after everything this country has been through, after everything the country has already been through before the pandemic, because this isn't new. This has been 30 years of deprecating our living conditions. And I am not from this country, and I know this. How tired and vexed are the people that live here, that are citizens from here, that put their trust in the government from here and not getting anything for it. How vexed are they? But then again, I have to calm myself down and realize that probably we are not vexed enough. Because on the other hand, just the right amount of us are doing just good enough to keep this BS going. 40% of this nation is struggling, cannot afford a $500 emergency. You know that. I know that because we are on the beat. The listeners of this show, we understand that. But the rest of that 60%, how many of us don't even know what the census is for, which is something I came to realize to my own surprise. Last year, when the census was happening, we had a conference call at work, you know, diversity and inclusion BS that all these major corporations are doing now. And in the conversation, it came up about the importance of participating in the census, and there were people 30 and 40 years old that did not know what the census of the country that they were born in is for, and all the things that are derived from that census. You see where I'm going?
I do. Yes.
So it's a big dilemma that we're in, and yes, we're in a lot of suffering. But how can we push a government to do something for us when there isn't the urgency in enough people to push, when we don't realize what that situation is in? So it's a perfect storm, like I said in the first time that I called into the show. It's a perfect storm, just like your other caller said. We're dealing with mass media. We're dealing with a bunch of other influences that are not being helpful. And then on top of that, we're in a place where the deprecating of our educational system has not helped people to be aware of what their duties and obligations are. So we have a lot of work to do. That's my soapbox, and I'm going to get off it. Thank you for giving me a moment.
Hey, absolutely.
And, I really love what you're doing, man. I do.
Hey, give it up for Andre. Thank you, Andre, for the phone call, guys. Andre, great call. And Andre, I'm from look, I'm from the 80s and the 90s, right? Late 80s, early 90s. That's when I grew up, came of age. And we used to use the word vexed. So I'm very familiar with the term vexed. And it's like way past frustrated. You know what I'm saying? It's like stressed and frustrated combination for anybody trying to figure that out. And you hit on some points that people need to think about. Like, look, I think part of the reason why it doesn't seem like we're angry enough or we're upset enough is because we got these gatekeepers. See, look, this is the way I look at it. Too many people I don't even want to call them the left, right? People who are involved in media that people who are more liberal listen to. They sold us out. And I don't mean, look, I'm not talking about the politicians. I'm not talking about anybody individually. I'm talking like generally speaking, they sold us out. And what I mean by that is, where is our Rush Limbaugh? Where is our other weird guy? Where is our Alex Jones? Where are these people that hold Biden accountable? They're not considered nutburgers. Well, I know Alex is considered a nutburger. But what I'm saying is who have sway within the Democratic, within pockets of liberals that are courageous enough to push the issue. See, look, Trump knows he can't get away with the BS. He couldn't get away with the BS. If Trump would have done what Joe Biden's doing, they would have eviscerated Trump. You know, of course, Trump had his mindless, some people that were mindless followers, but also the glue that held that together wasn't just Trump. It was these different talk shows, radio shows, media folks who were part of this conversation, this narrative. They said, if Trump does this, we do this. Trump handles his business and he supports us, then we're going to support him. And they never left his side, and they held him, they I won't say held him accountable, but Trump knew at any time Rush Limbaugh could turn on his ass. That these entities could turn on him and make his life a lot harder. There is no equivalent to that for Joe Biden. There's no equivalent because all of the voices, all of the large voices, I'm not talking about Tim Black, okay? I respect you guys for loving the show. We're talking about people with way more followers than me, way more listeners than me, with way more reach than me. We do okay. I do okay. I'm talking about Joe Rogan level, Rush Limbaugh level. Are there any entities that will be able to hold Joe Biden accountable on that type of level that can change the narrative of the electorate, can stimulate grassroots and push it, and push him to do the right thing or to do the will of those listeners. No. And that's the problem. And the people that we do have in place that could push Joe Biden are working at corporate media, which are controlled media, where they listen to not the people, but stockholders, investors, and donors, and people of that ilk. So that's the difference between, that to me is one of the main reasons why we can't get Joe Biden to go along. And before I go to the next call, let me include this one graphic I meant to show the other day. It's from my friends over at the Gravel Institute. Gravel Institute. On the 36th day of his presidency, Joe Biden bombed Syria, gave up on $15 minimum wage, and didn't send out survival checks to the millions of people going hungry. Let me ask you something. Now, and when 2022 rolls around, and they lose either the House or the Senate, more than likely the Senate, then they will have only themselves to blame, Johnson. Because all of the massaging and coddling that corporate media will give Joe Biden will not protect him from his own record. It just won't, Johnson. And it won't protect those Democrats either. 808. 808, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, what's going on, Tim? It's William from Hawaii.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, brother?
I had some information I just wanted to throw out there, bro. Man, every time I call, I always have a point. Then I listen to the calls and I get all worked out. Right now, I don't know if people realize like how much under attack our Social Security system is, and it is under enormous pressure right now. And these problems, I mean, they've been chipping away at it since Clinton, at least Clinton, or even a little bit before that. And then we get Donald Trump in office, and this is not a Donald Trump, I hate Trump kind of thing. Trump, where everyone had, their little hammer and chisel, and they chiseled away at the iceberg. Trump just was an idiot and took a sledgehammer to an ice cube.
Hey, caller, we're having a hard time hearing you, man. You got us on speaker.
Administrative orders.
Hey, caller, William, you got us on speaker, brother. You sound really horrible, and it's really hard for my callers or my viewers to understand what you're saying. You sound like you're across the room. So that's a very hard way to go. I'm going to come back to you, but let's get you on the regular line, brother. I hope you heard that.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, Tim?
Yeah, you better. I think so. Go right ahead. Okay, we lost the call, guys. Well, he'll call back in. I got you written down, 808. Let's go to 11111. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 111. That's like the system gives it a weird number. When people call, they got the number blocked. Hey. Hello. All right. Nothing on that line. What's going on? 980. Andre, is this Andre, my editor? One of my editors? Andre. 980. 980. Damn. I just realized that may have been Andre, my editor. I don't know. Andre, was that you? I got a couple of editors, Kamali and Andre, and they said Andre, but I wasn't sure if that was the Andre. Anyway, I'm going to keep it moving, guys. 808, you need to dial back in. Your call dropped, as you know. 11111. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I put you in, and then you did not speak. Sometimes people got things on mute. I'm gonna try 111 one more time. 111, you're live.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. You can hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. You're live. Go right ahead. Who's this?
Oh, okay. Hi, Tim. This is Anna from New York. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm glad you're back. What's up?
I am jumping up and down, and I am so thrilled that Cuomo is in the hot seat. I really, truly hope that rat bastard is taken out from his position, because he has done so much harm to New York, it's not even funny. Do you know that within COVID that he got upset that there was a $21 billion COVID relief that was done with the Trump administration, and he was really upset, saying that was a terrible thing for New York State to go through. I couldn't even believe that he was saying that. Then on top of it, he made sure that he didn't accept the $8.7 billion that was going to be given to New York, especially for people who are on Medicaid. And we're all suffering. We're going through all this, and this is the thing that he's doing to us. But yet, however, this rat bastard didn't have a problem getting taxpayers $306 billion for an infrastructure plan that he wants to do in New York. Now, of course, we need it. It's great and whatever. But the thing is, he's taking taxpayer money in order to do this infrastructure that is really more for like for example, he wants to put a waterfront park at Pier 76. A waterfront park. You're going to tell me that with all the people who are suffering, and especially the ones who have Medicaid, you're going to let them continue to suffer? Right now, we still have problems here that people who still can't pay the rent. He doesn't even want to agree to $15 an hour. But yet you have no problem wanting to take taxpayer money, $306 billion, and part of that infrastructure plan is for transportation. Again, something that we need. But it's more focused on, for example, he wants to continue modernizing LaGuardia and JFK Airport, which fine or whatever, but does that have to be done now? Really, now at this point? This has me so insanely angry that it's insane. And then he feels like that his restructure Medicaid program, that he says he feels like he's saving the state all that money. So yes, I am beyond thrilled that rat bastard is on the hot seat, and I really do hope he resigns or someone kicks him out. I just had to share that joy.
I love it. Thank you so much for the call, Anna. Anna killed it. Thank you. Give it up for Anna, y'all. Yeah, let me. Oh, man. Anna, you know what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to put lipstick on a pig. He doesn't realize it's still a pig, and we can all see it's a pig. It's just a pig with lipstick on it. I don't want to kiss it. I'll pet it, though. Look, it also reminds me of a story when I was, I remember one summer I went to spend the summer with some of my friends, with my cousins who lived in D.C. at the time, in Southeast D.C. Give it up for Green Valley, okay? And Malcolm X Elementary School. Anyway, what I remember is one of my friends, his name was Kenny. He lived across the street in this apartment complex, these row of houses, apartment houses. And I remember Kenny around Christmas. He got all these gifts. Oh, they got so many gifts, man. They had so many presents one Christmas. So many gifts, so many presents. And I came from a family where I didn't celebrate Christmas, but my cousins, they did celebrate Christmas. So they had a couple presents. I remember getting one thing, maybe one or two things. But he had like a room full of stuff, man. Everybody in the family had a bunch of stuff at Kenny's house. And then came January 5th. And I looked out the window and I saw all of Kenny's family's furniture outside on the curb, Johnson. The love seat, the couch, the lamps, the bed. There was a pee stain on Kenny's bed. I remember that. Kenny, is that your bed with the pee stain on it? That mattress got a pee stain on it. That's your bed, Kenny. You pee the bed, man. And I didn't understand it right away, but one of my uncles, he told me, he said, well, what happened was, Kenny's parents knew they weren't going to be able to make the rent. So they said, what the hell, we'll go out with a bang and we'll just go ahead and live it up for Christmas and get the kids a really big Christmas. And I'm like, well, they don't have a place to live. And it seemed kind of stupid. Because that's all fun and dandy when you got all these gifts to open. But then when you ain't got a place to lay your head, you got to go stay in a shelter or go live with family somewhere in the Carolinas just to have a place to lay on the floor with a blanket. I mean, that's not good. And that's sort of like Andrew Cuomo. But see, Andrew Cuomo's not going to have to go lay on a blanket, do some couch surfing with the kids over at a cousin's house. You New Yorkers will. And he knows the element of distraction. He wants to distract you from the fact that you're already sleeping on the floor and that many of you are going to have to sleep on the floor. And that the bills ain't going to be made. And they're going to come put the stuff out on the curb. And what I like about Anna is she knows it. She's calling it out now before the evictions happen. And we need more people like that to call that out. I'm going to go to the next call, 310. 310, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Good evening, Tim. This is Smooth 80 out of L.A. How you doing?
What's up, Smooth? What's on your mind, my brother?
Man, you've had some dynamite calls this evening. Anyway, Tim, I saw your special this afternoon. Props on that. Thank you again for bringing these people that have informative information that we don't normally get through the media. Thank you again for that.
You got it, brother.
I like to ask a question, man. Because I've been getting cussed out by my friends because I can't stand Joe Biden. Could somebody please tell me this guy said all these damn things when he was running for office, especially when they was in Georgia. $2,000 is not $14,000 plus 6. This is that tricky math, that new math. I didn't go to school with that. When you tell somebody something, you're supposed to live up to your word. Does anybody else remember what he also said about the homeless situation in America? That he was going to do something about that in his first 100 days in office. Anybody remember that? So now you mentioned something earlier in your broadcast this evening in regards to this $15 minimum wage. And I'm saying, if Kamala Harris can ask this chick to sit our ass down, we got $15. And why does it have to take 5 years in order for the full $15 to come in play? People are starving out here. People are losing their homes. People have lost their jobs. And these politicians, not just Joe Biden, all these politicians, they go home to a nice house. They got food. They got heat. They got air. And they got a paycheck coming in, not only from the government, but from up under the table. So my question is, if we're not getting served up, they should not be receiving a check until they pass some damn bills around here. Because this is absolutely insanity. These people sit on their hands and say all this nice stuff until it's time to put their foot to the damn pavement, and all of a sudden they can't do a doggone thing. I am tired of these poor-ass Democrats that do not have any backbone for the people that go out and vote for these knuckleheads. They can talk about the GOP all they want, but one thing for sure about their ass, they tell that line, they stick to it. You don't see them breaking ranks. You don't see a whole lot of commotion about what they're going to do. The Democrats make it sound like they the good guy. The GOP is the bad guy. But we all know that they all in the same damn boat, and they leaving us on our side. Mm-hmm. So, Tim, thank you again. I could go on and on, man, but it just doesn't make sense to me. And your callers are so right. It's like you put us in a position, you want our vote. And this is what I think a lot of people don't understand. Without our vote, they don't get in office. No matter how much money is being contributed to that candidate, if we don't go out and vote for their ass, they don't get in office. It's the vote that matters, not that money that they keep talking about. Oh, my chest got $20 billion in it. No, your chest needs some damn votes. Anyway, Tim, I enjoy your show, man. I am sorry for going off script, but, man, thank you so much. Keep up the good work, my brother.
It's all good. Smooth from L.A., man. Give it up for Smooth, man. No doubt, friend. My family, let me tell you, Johnson. Johnson, look. So the $15 minimum wage, right? Let's talk about that. Joe Biden. Kamala Harris is the president of
90 seconds.
Damn it. I hate this damn thing. Kamala Harris has the ability to override the parliamentarian. Totally cancel that out if she wanted to. That's number one. Number two, they could fire the parliamentarian. It's not an elected position. That's number two. Number three, even if they do that, they still need 51 votes. 50 senators plus one Kamala.
60 seconds.
Because they're using the reconciliation process, which means they only need 51 votes to pass. Okay? So that can be done. But then you got Joe Manchin and this Sinema, I think that's out of Arizona, two senators who are Democrats who say they won't vote for it because the $15 minimum wage is going to hurt their rural districts. Manchin out of West Virginia, I think Sinema's out of Arizona. I could be wrong about Sinema. The solutions to that should be, or could be, a subsidy. The federal government subsidizes small businesses who make a certain amount of money who cannot afford to pay the
10 seconds.
The newly increased minimum wage to those employees. Look, I'm not against helping companies, small companies. I'm a small company. Very small company. So I'm not against helping small businesses stay alive. Help small businesses. But we are talking about incrementally $15 over a few years. And they do have a way to do it. It's all about, do they have a will to do it? So subsidize small business who can't afford it. That should take away all of the contention between Joe Manchin and Sinema on other people who are reluctant, and maybe some others who are reluctant to sign on who just aren't saying anything right now. And if that won't do it, well then just put them on Front Street so we can get their asses out of office. That's how you do that. So that's what I think needs to happen, Smooth. I'm going to go to the next caller. Thank you for phoning up. 231, you're live. Freedom Friday. 231, what's your name? What's your comment?
Good evening, Tim. Abigail's dad. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Abigail's dad. What's up?
Oh, we're hanging in here. You'll have to fill in a couple spots here for me, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, this is just turning into an example. And we're going to watch this all year, and we're going to watch this probably through next year. And I don't like to say these words, but we're a failed state. And we're going to see the results of this failed state play out. And back to what you said earlier about the gatekeepers, the media. Well, People are noticing, and people are losing faith in the media. Well, if people in this country lose faith in the mainstream media, those gatekeepers no longer have control of those gates. And with that, and the money printing that's going on this year, and don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. The money printing for the rich, not you, not me. The money printing for the rich is out of control. The money printer hasn't stopped yet. Slowed down a little bit, has not stopped. And they're about to speed that thing up again, because if anybody looks through any of the ports in this bill, yes, there's things that we need in here. I have been out of work now for the better part, January 5th of 2020. So it's been a while. So I need some of the things in that stimulus bill or rescue bill or whatever the hell you want to call it will help us a little bit. And going into the sailing season when the ice lets up here, I'll be probably back to work on the freighters this year, hopefully with a little luck. That being said, though, what they're about to do to our currency, when you realize that, 40% of all U.S. dollars in existence have been printed in the last 12 or 14 months, and they're about to crank that money printer up again, we're going to see this thing called inflation. And this experiment's been run years and years ago. A lot of people don't remember. I remember because in our attic, out at my mom's house, there's all my great-grandfather's money. He was from Germany, and he was over here, and he was an immigrant. And he always dreamed of going back home. And so the whole time he lived here, back in the teens and into the 20s, he worked over here, and every week when he cashed his check, what they didn't use, they converted back over into marks. And for anybody that's not really up on history, the German currency failed. We still have all that paper. So this experiment with just printing money, we've gone down this road before, or at least as people on this planet. It didn't work well for Germany. It won't work well for us. And one other thing I really wanted to touch on was the very first caller when he was talking about his environmentalist friends and how they weren't on board necessarily with racial issues. And the environmental pollution in this country is a race issue because the pollution in our country affects blacks and colors and pores to a higher percentage than any other group in this country. Poor people deal with this pollution. So, okay, you don't think you're a Black Lives Matter person, but if you're raising the ban of, environmentalism, that affects colored people disproportionately to white people by a long shot. And I'm going to let it go there, and you have a good night, and it's definitely been a long week in politics. You have a good night, Mr. Black.
All right, now, Abigail's dad, oh, man. Wow, mother. Oh, man. Now, I don't know if I would say that environmental issues affect more black people than white people. I mean, we're only 13% of the population, Abigail's dad. There are a lot of states, a lot of rural states that hardly have, a lot of rural cities, in some rural states, that hardly have any black people, but got a lot of dumping. I remember watching Erin Brockovich, that movie, Erin Brockovich, right? I don't think there was a lot of black people in that little small town that they were poisoning, giving cancer with the environmental toxic dust or liquid or whatever that crap was they were dumping in the ground, on the lakes or whatever. And I know environmental issues exceed beyond that. So I'll give you, I agree that, of course, anything that it mostly impacts poor people will impact black people first, but we need something to be for. Like, you can't say that you're pro, like, the that you're supporting black people if you're not for anything. So there's something about, being for an issue that impacts us in the negative and you wanting to fight that cause, but you should also be for something that supports black people. And those are a little bit different. Yeah, you could say, Medicare for all, but also help black people because black people need health care and we are at least cover the least covered group of people. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't support, other initiatives besides Medicare for all that directly impact black folks. Because there were statutes in this country that directly impacted us negatively. So when we didn't get the Green New Deal and they rolled out all these folks, they said, well, you can get the Green New Deal as long as you are not a domestic worker. When most of black folks were domestic workers or farmers or field hands who didn't own their own property, well, then that kind of knocked us out because they're the only kind of jobs we could have because we didn't own, because it's how America's built. So anyway, I'm going to go to the next call, man. I appreciate the phone call. Let's recognize that there's importance of supporting black issues. It's okay to support a black issue. It's okay. It's not. It could be for something black. You go on the block and see the house on fire. That's probably the house you want to put water on first. That's cool. Just we got this country, man. Well, that seems uncool. That seems like like we got to have a conversation about that shit. Like 805. I don't know if we should put water on the house that's burning. This house here, there's a little smoke coming from the burning home that's blowing over there. Maybe we should focus on keeping that smoke from blowing. The house is burning. There are people in that house. Yeah, I know, but what about the house down the block that can see the house? Their children have to see that house burning. We need to work on putting up a barrier so they can't see that house is burning. What about the psychological damage to those children that have to see that home burning with those people screaming in it? That's how some people sound to me when they want to overlook the house that's burning. What Larry Elder said. 805, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? $805. Okay. There you go. 805.
Yo. Hello.
You're live, 805. Who's this?
This is David.
All right, David, you are live, sir. We're waiting on you. What is your comment, 805?
Oh, yeah. Well, this whole thing has to do with, you were raised up in Jehovah's organization, right?
I was.
Okay, so you'll understand this. Now, Jesus didn't go after Pontius Pilate. Jesus went after the money changers. Just like right now today, we got to just leave those people alone. Pontius Pilate was scared. Biden's bought. So we got to go after the money changers. Because that's where the power really is. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, all right. Go after the money. The caller said, David says, show us the money. Go after the money, Johnson. I can't say he's wrong. How? People say pitchforks. So this is the reason why I say, listen, brother, This is why I say that Rush Limbaugh was a horrible individual. He wasn't just a horrible individual because he was a bigot, a misogynist, a jackass, a xenophobe, Islamophobe. He wasn't just a jackass because of that. In fact, if that made everyone a jackass who was a xenophobe, a homophobe, a xenophobe, a bigot, then we have so many of those, we wouldn't have a room, no place to ride our horsey. Because that would be like 20% of the country. No, he was a jackass because Rush Limbaugh was a smart man who'd been around the block, who had been studying politics for quite some time. He devoted 40 years, maybe longer, in that business, so he knew. He knew that he was lying to his audience when he made their problems seem to be the problems, or seem to be caused by Muslims, Mexicans, blacks, women, and the gays. He knew that wasn't the problem. So if he would have turned his ire and his focus on the corporations and, as you say it, the money, then he could have actually done some good. And why not do some good on your way out the door? You're on your way out the door, Johnson. They diagnosed him with stage 4 a year ago. A year before his death. He could have, for his last year of life, he could have made his focus, because he live streamed, he did his show up till 2 weeks before his death. He could have been telling the damn truth on his way out the door, and which to me would have, I won't say it would have totally erased all the damage that he had done, but it would have done a bit of damage control or damage reduction. And some of us will be lucky to be able to get that opportunity to have a platform enough to undo or mitigate some of the BS that we caused while we were here. So anyway, my point is this. Yeah, I understand you're saying it's not Joe Biden. But please recognize that there's a lot that a president can do. There's a lot that, so we can't say, let's not go down that road of there's nothing that Biden could do. But you just said that Trump caused World War V. That Trump destroyed the world. He destroyed democracy. He destroyed everything. He caused racism. He created xenophobia. He created all these things. He's just one guy. And now that we got another guy in the same job, you say, don't expect Joe Biden to fix everything. Go to his money handlers. So let me get this right. A bad man, if I'm accepting the narrative, a bad man can destroy the world, but a good man can't do shit except take out the trash or hang up a sign or something and write a memoir. A memoir. What are we saying here, guys? I don't understand it. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the bad guys can have all the power, and then when the good guy gets the same job with the same powers, all of a sudden he's powerless, and now we need to look for someone else. So either they were lying when they were saying that Trump destroyed America, it was already being destroyed by these corporations and these big money people, or they're protecting Biden because the system and these big powerful people want it to seem like the president really is just a figureholder position that actually can't get anything done and really has no power. And people who aren't even elected, like Elizabeth McDonough, has all the power. That's who's really powerful. Elizabeth McDonough, the parliamentarian. All right, 941, you're live, Freedom Friday. 941, what's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, you're live, 941. Who's this?
Tim?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. My name is Christine.
Christine, what's up?
And I'm Nick's wife that's always on making comments. So I'm doing okay. I wanted to call in tonight because, I don't know. I've listened to all the callers, and so now I'm really confused. So I'm writing notes. But, all right, I think personally Trump is a psychopath. I knew he was from the beginning. The thing I'm worried with Trump is he wants to take over. He wants to take all the power. Now, the other thing is, I think Biden sucks. I think they're all paid for. But the problem is if the people that think they're so slick that are pulling the strings with Biden, if they don't perform, they've got the House, the Senate, everything. If they don't help the people right now, their people are dying because they can't go to a doctor. They're dying because they can't eat. They're sick and they're tired of it. And what's going to happen is if Biden or whoever doesn't do something for these people, we're going to get somebody worse than Trump. We're going to get somebody that's going to come out and say, hey, I'm going to give you all the money. Here you go. I'm going to give you, whatever, $3,000 a month, whatever. And that's how people wind up with a dictator. I don't know if you're following me. It's a long process, but what I'm trying to say is when you make people so desperate that they're crying for crumbs, and then you come and you're a savior, that's when people stop paying attention and all they care about is, wow, you made my life way better. And that's all that matters. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, Tim, is I am definitely for reparations. I'm a 60-year-old white woman that grew up, in a pretty much middle class but crazy family. Wasn't normal. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm older, so I was when times were with busing. And the reason that I got to know about other kids and other, the way that other kids lived, I used to go to the projects and hang out with the kids at their houses. And I saw how they lived. And I wanted to be friends with people like that. I didn't want to be friends with, the kids that were around my way. But anyway, I come from a family that is mixed now, and it's weird. I never felt I was prejudiced. I didn't even understand what white entitlement was. I'm like, what? I'm poor. How could I be entitled? And then when I was explained how, there's no generational wealth, you're not given a chance. There was no chance, and how black people built this country. There's a lot of white people out here that don't know. There's a lot of racists that just hate. That's it. They just hate by the color of your skin. But there's other people that, because they grew up in such a different reality, they don't have a clue. They don't. They don't have one clue what it's like to live in another person's shoes. And the other thing I wanted to talk about really quick, I know I'm taking up a lot of time, is I believe that the environment and the racial injustice go hand in hand, like they're intertwined. Because, look at Katrina. I mean, look what they did. They took all the black people that owned their homes and just took them out and took them away and put them wherever. Well, the same thing happened to me and my husband down in the Keys when Irma hit. Same thing. We're not rich, so out you go. And what's going to happen is they're going to keep on moving you and keep on moving you. Same thing happened in New York City and Harlem. They moved all the black people out, and you've got all white, rich people in these townhomes. Yep. I mean, there's nowhere. They want to keep on, and the more the environment with more storms and more things that happen, they're just going to keep on until where do you go? You know, I just think it all goes in together. But I agree. And the other thing is, Biden hasn't mentioned one thing he's going to do for black people. I've heard about and I'm for everybody. Everybody. I want Medicaid for all because, honestly, I'm dying because I can't get medical care. So I really want Medicaid for all. But I'm with you for reparations. I want the same thing for you that I'm entitled to. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry I took up so much time, and I know I'm really scattered. I get very nervous. But thank you, Tim. I love your show. I love you. Listen, you're not like them because Rush Limbaugh had 12 years of preparing Trump. We had Air America back in the freaking 90s, and that was a moderate liberal. You know, that was our big, and nobody watched. Look, Al Franken was on there. All right, I'm going to ramble. Love you, Tim. I love the Wolf Pack.
Thank you, Christine. Give it up for Christine. What a call. What a call. What a call. What a call. And look, guys, here's the deal. Stop looking for perfection. And none of us perfect. I'm Tim Black. I'm definitely not perfect, okay? So we got to look at intention. We got to look at people trying to get there, and if their motives seem ethical, and you got to respect the effort. So I respect the hell out of Christine for calling up and speaking her point of view. And I think she's coming from an honest place. I would just like to remind her, if she started off, the only thing I got to say this. If Trump's a psycho, what is Joe Biden, who ran for president 3 times? Like, Trump only ran once. Biden ran 3 times. Sounds like he's the more psycho that wants power. But yeah, and I could go here or there and pick a thing or two about certain things you said along the way, but I'm not going to do it. I think I understand. I think I sense in you a sincerity and a realness, and it's true. A lot of people just don't understand other people's situation, and and how do you get them to understand that? How do you get other people to walk in another person's shoes? I mean, it's as biblical. It goes back in time. It's just, and it pertains to so many of us, okay, in all types of situations. So how do you work around that? I guess information, shows like this will do it, and we need more shows like this. And they don't have to be by me. It could be by Christine. Hope you get the medical treatment that you need, Christine, and thank you for the phone call. 859, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, my name's Sue. I'm in Kentucky. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Sue, how you doing?
Hi, how are you doing? In Kentucky, there's 122 counties, and there's 2 blue counties, Jefferson and Fayette, and I live in one of them, but we have 8 representatives in Congress, and 7 of them are Republicans. But there's more Democrats than there are Republicans. And we got the worst ones. We got Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, Andy Barr, and, they're just horrible in Congress. So the DNC won't send us any money. They've given up on us. But look at Georgia. They need to really put money into these states that could go blue in some areas. But we all feel helpless. We voted for Biden because he was the least of 2 evils. And now we've got buyer's remorse and we all feel helpless. But let's look at how the other side fights. How do they have power? How do they win? They have NRA. That was a good thing for them. That had sway with politicians. So I say make a people's union and have like a face to it, like Cornel West or maybe Nina Turner or, somebody that's a progressive that everybody loves. And everybody just join a union. And if I donate $28, kind of like the Burning campaign did, we could all have power instead of one twig being weak. We could put all our twigs together and be strong and beat these politicians over the head. You see what I'm saying? And basically, that's all I want to say. Thanks, Tim. I love your show.
Hey, I love you back, Sue. Thank you for calling up. Give it up for Sue, guys. Sue gave it up and gave us an education on what's going on in Kentucky. And I didn't know that. She says it's 122 red and 2 blue. But most of Kentucky is blue and it could go blue? I never knew this. Am I hearing it? Did I hear her right? She said Kentucky could go blue. And that's what, and look, not with McGrath. Not with McGrath, I don't think. Okay? I'll just say this, man. I know a lot of people like Booker. I'm always wary of folks who I feel are afraid to come on this show. And Booker's one of those people, man, that I thought was Andrew Gillum, Charles Booker. Like, these people, I got a problem with that. And I'm not saying it because I think I got the best show on earth. I think that I'm all powerful. But if you have a problem coming on this show because you think I'm too volatile, at least stop acting like you're such a truth, like you're so revolutionary. Okay, so that's what I don't like. Like, there are people I know that I shouldn't get on the show. Like, I wouldn't expect to get a person who's very conservative, a middle-of-the-road Democrat. Get it? Understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect to get Al Franken. Okay, I don't expect Al Franken. I don't even know it's Al Franken middle of the road. Name a middle of the road Democrat, guys. Understand what I'm saying? I just want to make sure people understand my point here. There are some middle of the road Democrats. And Amy Klobuchar would not come on the Tim Black Show. Okay, and I don't expect you to. But if you're billing yourself as I'm a progressive and I'm a fighter for the people, and then you won't come on the Tim Black Show because what? Like, if your name is Jamani Williams or another one of these people who found out, like, hey, I come on the show, then they see who I am, and they're like, uh-oh, guess I got to ignore this guy. Keith Ellison did the same thing. So that's just 4 brothers that I've named. Keith Ellison, Jamani Williams, Booker, and then the other guy, Andrew Gillum. All 4 of them, I feel, wouldn't come on this show because I'm too much of a rabble-rouser. But look, here's the problem. You put yourself out there like you are revolutionary. You put yourselves out there like you are willing to take on the system. But if you won't come on a show that takes on the system, I got to question if that's really what you want to do. And look, I'm not trying to browbeat them into coming on. I'm not saying they're bad people. What I'm telling you is that I don't have any trust that they actually are serious about taking on the system. So when I get people like Nina Turner to come on the show that'll say controversial things, Cori Bush came on the show, said controversial things. Even Andrew Yang came on the show. Marianne Williamson came on the show. So when you say the Democrats won't send money to Kentucky like they will to Georgia, I'm not always. I think they. Do they really want to turn Kentucky blue? See, I'm starting to look at things like it's intentional is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about intentions. Is the intention of the Democratic Party to turn Kentucky blue, or do they want it to seem like they're giving it a good fight? You know, let's put up a good fight. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna throw a punch, you block. I'm gonna throw a punch, you block. You throw a punch, I block. Then you get one in. Then I look hurt. Then I push you off, and then you throw and we just keep doing that. And then you throw another right, and I'm a act like I got hit, and I'm gonna fall down. Then I'm gonna get up just before the bell rings, and I'm gonna go climb to the ropes. And people are gonna clap, and then I'm gonna go out again. I'm gonna keep fighting. And we're gonna do this big Rocky scenario where I look like I really fought for it, like I really wanted to win. But all along, you're gonna win. And then after the show, you pay me a lot of money, and we keep it going, and we're able to get them to come out to see the next movie, or the next show, or the next round, the next bout. And we can make all this money. And I'm having a hard time seeing a difference between that and what's really going on with the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. So all I'm saying, Sue, is somebody's faking the funk, okay? And some people are not who they say they are and not who they pretend to be or how their reputation precedes them. You know what I'm saying? Is that really who they are? Is that really who the Democrats are? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to the next call. And no, I'm not going to make a bunch of videos bashing them. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to tell the truth when it's germane to a conversation about it. You got Keith Ellison trying to make arguments why people need to vote for Neera Tanden. Who didn't see that one coming? 254. 718, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Seven one eight. 718. Yeah, you're live. 718. Who's this?
Peter, how you doing?
What's up, Peter? What's on your mind, brother?
I heard what you said a while ago. That rant you were going on. This country doesn't care about us. They do not. If you think they do, I have a bridge to sell you in the middle of the desert. You're not going to get anything. The fact that you are believing, like Joe Biden, he said 2,000, now it's 1,400. He said 2,000 right away, and now it's 1,400 by the end of next month. I've been out of work since last March. A lot of people, they think that politicians will help them. I'm going to be honest with you. Politicians can't help them. Fight for yourselves. I'm actually starting to do that right now because I'm tired of it. Politicians are going to help you. I don't care if they say that they're progressive. I don't care if they say that they're for you. You show me that you're for you. You show me that you're for me. That's what you have to do. And also, Tim Black, I disagree with you between you and Jimmy Dore. I was for Jimmy Dore, but still, you're an awesome person. Like, keep speaking the truth, my brother.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, Mazel Tov. Yeah. And you, I think you're with the right set of people, is people that don't believe in politics, but for some reason keep on commenting on politics. You know, you got it right. You know, it's weird. You got fans of a show that says all politicians are garbage, but they keep watching the show about politics. I don't know. Here's the deal. If I felt that all football was bullshit, you wouldn't catch me watching it on Sundays. I don't get it. Like, okay, like if your guy's right And all these politicians are horrible except for the one that he supported in 2020, who put him on planes, who he went to do events for, all this stuff. Except for that one. That one's great. Everyone else is garbage. If that's true, and that person's not even in politics anymore, what's going on? Once again, man, if I hate pasta and the pasta's horrible, you're not going to find me at an Italian restaurant. That makes sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And then, and if that's how you feel, then why are we having a conversation? So, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. I'm not even going to argue the point. You know what I'm saying? I know one thing. Rich people are very happy with the Trump tax breaks, which were the George Bush tax breaks. To say politics don't matter, they matter to some people. Shit, an anti-lynching law really helped, we need an anti-lynching law. Maybe it doesn't matter for some people. There are laws. I need qualified immunity. Maybe you're okay with not having it. Maybe you'll be fine. But my kids need to have the cops that patrol the drive through my neighborhood need to know if they shoot my son unnecessarily, that they'll lose every fucking thing they have. And the only way that I can get that done, guy whose name I don't know, is politics. Now, if I want to be a vigilante, which is what you said you are willing to do, you're going to do it yourself. Now you realize you can do it yourself. Maybe that's how you can get it done. But unless you're a person who can't be a vigilante, like yourself, politics might be the way to go, Johnson. It's just a thought. And that's what we're doing here. So I'm going to go to 615. Because 615, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's going on, Tim? This is Chris from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, Chris, what's up, man? What's going on?
Ooh, dude, what is not up, man? First and foremost, I just want to make sure to say, hey, check on you and how you and your family are doing, first and foremost. I'm going to try to make this quick because I know it's late. First and foremost, it really pisses me off that people like Roland Martin, Joy Ann Reid, Tiffany Cross, and all them took and sold out the black community by sitting and saying that Bernie was racist, sitting and saying that Bernie's policies did not help the black community. What is even more sad is that people fell for that. And then they turned around and they're still saying that Bernie is a racist, Bernie is sexist. But then they turned around and they voted for someone that has worked with a racist, that is proud to have worked with a racist, and has turned around and spoke at a racist's funeral. And he is well known to be proud of that. But then the other thing is to watch how that people are taking mere attendance freaking nomination or whatever, and they're saying, oh, it's because she is a woman of color. That's the reason why that they're not confirming her and this, and that. It's really sad because Neera Tanden has never considered herself a woman of color. Neera Tanden has never done anything for people of color. Neera Tanden has always surrounded herself around white people like Hillary Clinton, the elites, and all that. And it just really pisses me off that how our community was sold out, because the way that I look at it is that even if all of Bernie's policies were not directed and said, this will help the black community, this will help the poor, this will help this, at least we would have gotten the ball rolling. Now we don't even have a chance to get the ball rolling. And then the fact that you can't even criticize Kamala Harris right now because you're either being misogynistic or you're turning around and you are you're sending hate towards her because she is a woman of color. Let's just make one fact. Let's just be honest. Kamala Harris only uses her being a woman of color when it is beneficial to her. Let's just be honest with it. Why real women of color that are suffering like hell in the workplace. Women of color are freaking taking on so much pain, so much. And Kamala Harris gets to play this, oh, well, I'm a woman of color. But then at the same time, she's using, oh, well, my mother is an Indian and this, and that. And so it's just, my thing is, Tim, I'm tired, dude. Like, why? I keep asking my husband, why are we still here? Why are we still here? Because it's like, it makes no sense to be here anymore. It really makes no sense to be here anymore. Because you look at all the other countries and they're moving on and they're living their lives. They have education. They have health care. And yeah, no matter where you go, the government is always going to be, tricky or whatever. But we have been made as a society in America to think that we are the best. And we are not the best. We are the worst. And the older I get, the more I realize there's no point of me living here anymore. There's no point of me staying here anymore. When you look and you see how people that have left here. I read an article of how black women have left the United States of America. And they talk about how their depression has went down. They talk about how their anxiety has went down. They talk about how they feel so much freer because they don't have to sit and worry about getting shot, being taken advantage of, work politics. And it's just like, why are we continue to sit in here fighting for people and begging people to do the right thing that are sitting in Congress that are worth millions of fucking dollars? Like, why? Like, you can't even talk policy anymore because everybody wants to be right, but nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be heard, but nobody ever wants to listen. And if we on the left are going to do anything, we are going to have to learn, okay, I hear you, I see you, and stop responding. So, like, our point is always right. But as African Americans, it's like, we can't say anything. We can't do anything, no matter what we do. You should have did this. You should have obeyed the law and all this stuff. And I know that when I say this, it's going to cause some issues. But if you say anything criticizing the Jewish community, you are automatically considered an anti-Semitic. And it's like so many progressives' campaign has been tanked because they have stood up. And I hope I got this right, and please don't get me wrong. Don't bash me out. But if you're standing up for the Palestinians, you're considered anti-Semitic. If you criticize AIPAC, you're anti-Semitic. If you criticize Netanyahu, you're anti-Semitic. So no matter what you say, anti-Semitism gets more play than a politician being racist towards African Americans.
Oh,
it's like damned if you do and damned if you don't. And dude, we as the black community, we are tired. We are tired of the black elites taking and selling us out and all this stuff. And you notice how quiet they all are. They're all quiet now. They're all quiet. The check's done cleared. Now they're sitting up here getting on their YouTube channels like Roland Martin, trying to be, well, Joe Biden, if you think that you're going to do this and da-da-da-da-da. And guess what? You already sold out of. You sold us out. You sold us out. Joy Reid sold us out. Keith Ellis sitting up here making a tweet and saying that he supports Neera Tanden being confirmed? Come on, dude. Come on, man. Like, it's obvious now. It is so obvious, and they think that we can't put two and two together to realize the only reason why that you guys are backing a lot of this shit is because they're writing you a check with a bunch of zeros on the back of it. And guess what? Roland, your show is still trash, and you're still not even trending, and you sold everybody out. And that's all I got to say, because the Tim Black Show is the #1 show. Peace out, homie. Take care.
Thank you, Chris, for the phone call, man. Give it up for Chris, y'all. Let me keep it going, guys. I'm going to comment, Chris, but I don't want the phone. I don't want the phone to cut off on my next caller. 352, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 352.
Hey Tim, it's Gary down in Gainesville. I'll make it short and sweet tonight. I love the interview today. I think it was Ajama Baraka.
Yes.
If I'm pronouncing it right, okay?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna watch that like probably a few times Saturday and Sunday. And then Tuesday night, because I don't want to try. It was loaded. It was loaded. It could be like a school required in school to listen to that conversation. It was. So I just said a couple of things real quick. I don't even know where that man came from. I don't know how you found him, but I'll tell you what. I think he said he's got a site himself, so I'm going to check it out. And I really liked him. He was talking about very emotional things, but he didn't let his emotions get the best of him. He articulated beautifully about, okay, I'll just try and hit a few things. When I talk fast like that, it's because I know I'm on the clock. If I was sitting with you in the bar, I wouldn't be talking this fast if I knew I had time. So I'm talking fast because I know I'm on the clock. I hit a couple of things, but I'm going to listen to it more. It starts with Haiti and about, wow, you think we got it bad here? Look at Haiti. Are you kidding me? These people have been taken through the ringer left and right. And then when you got into, all right, I'm trying to remember. Like I said, it was so loaded, but I remember that, okay, I'll just try and stick with one thing tonight, and then Tuesday night I'll write down all the points. The thing he said about when Bernie Sanders was running, and he said, before Bernie came along, we weren't having any of these conversations. I thought he nailed that. And when you think about it, people say, well, Bernie failed us. He failed. Bernie put the thing in. He's like, here's the keys, guys. I'm 75 freaking years old. I chained myself to a black woman 40 years ago. I've been fighting the right fight. I'm not going to be around forever. Don't expect me to freaking, lead you to the promised land. Here's the keys. Now you take it and do something with it. And I think that's what Baraka was saying. He's like, we have to now say he opened up the door to conversations we weren't having before. Now we have to continue with that. Because before that conversation, nobody stood up to the powers and the establishment. And when he said about the Trump thing, and he was very good on that too. I'll leave it on those two things. The Trump thing, when he says, we were blaming Trump for this and we were blaming Trump for that. He's like, there's people that are so much more powerful than Trump that are controlling what is going on behind the scenes. People whose names we don't even know. When we talk about Trump and Biden and these guys that we think have all this power, there's guys with cigars and martinis sitting in a dark room somewhere with so much money. They're just picking their puppets to represent. So he realized the fact that you're up against the establishment. We're up against money. Bernie said, listen, come up against the most powerful forces in the world. This ain't going to be easy. We have to rally together as a people. And, maybe the virus hurt Bernie. When people say that Bernie kind of gave up, I saw when Bernie I don't think Bernie would have gave up if it wasn't for the COVID. When Bernie said, I got to stop my rallies, that was Bernie's strength. Bernie's strength was getting the rallies of people together. Once that was over, he probably put two and two together. My whole point is about people backing me up. Now, if I can't get the people to come out to the rallies, what chance do I stand? So the man hit on a lot of good points. I'll make it short and sweet tonight, but I thought it was a great interview, and I'll try to, express a little more I'll try and call you on Tuesday night. Love you, bro. Thank you for everything. Great interview.
You got it, Gary. Thank you, man, for commenting on the show, man. And John Mubaraka would be happy to hear that you enjoyed the conversation, and follow him at the Black Alliance for Peace, man. That's the blackallianceforpeace.com. I had a bad connection caller, but he called back in. Let's get him in here. 808, you're live. What's up, brother?
Yo, Tim, can you hear me now?
I hear you much better. Go right ahead, my
it's
friend.
William from Hawaii.
Yes.
Sorry about the earlier phone call. I'm out in the booty. So I did have a quick point that I wanted to make. My purpose for calling. Within my community, I advocate and help people who are going through a tough time get through few different systems: Social Security, workers' comp, some of our local systems, SNAP, and things like that. And I'll tell you, the job has gotten rough, man. I mean, it has gotten rough. And the big thing that we're dealing with right now is Social Security as a whole is under a huge attack. I mean, it's been under attack for quite a few years, and they've been chipping away and knocking at that iceberg little at a time. Not enough so anybody pays notice, but enough to be a problem. And then Trump came in and took a sledgehammer and blew everything apart. He put in a bunch of executive actions or executive orders that really put the entire system in peril. And right now, they have not been implemented because Joe Biden has the 68 hold on those orders. But he has also not done anything to change it, which I don't expect that he will. Even Barack Obama was facing a similar situation had George W. Bush, his appointee, running the system. He kept him in there. Trump kept him in there. And none of that's sort of the Democrats' way, is to silently let the Republicans do the dirty work and then claim it was all their fault. But he has the ability to take action. I don't have much confidence that he will. Lastly, I had to push back real quick on Dale's dad. Dale's dad, and I mean this with all due respect, what he was speaking of is one of the biggest problems that we have right now. It is a narrative that we've been sold and shoved down our throat for years. And that narrative is based in, that's still talked about today. It's based in a system back in the 70s, when we were under the gold standard. And Richard Nixon got us off the gold standard. We have a sovereign monetary system with a fiat currency. I know that's a lot, and I won't go too much in depth. But all this stuff, people need to look into those two terms. If they can look into a sovereign currency, they'll have an understanding of why this is absolute bullshit. We have to start getting that out of our mindset. That system does not exist. That's not the system. There's no money that is printed coming from the Federal Reserve. No money is printed. And that last big printing that he was talking about was a program where they were trying to remove currency from the system. So they were taking old dollars out, but they did not replace those bills with a compensatory amount of bills. I know it's late, so I'll leave it at that. I do have a couple things I'll send to you if you can keep an eye out. I'll put a William from Hawaii on the label. If you can keep an eye, maybe you could take a look at. I'm sure you can express it much better than I'm babbling about. But thank you, my brother. And I don't use that term lightly. We don't do that here in Hawaii. I appreciate all that you do, man. Have a good night.
You got it, William. I'm glad you called back in, brother. Give it up for William, y'all, from Hawaii, brother. Man called back in, and he wanted us to hear that message because he got back in the queue. I appreciate it, William. And back in the day, I had a person on the show from the Progressives, the Real Progressives on Facebook, and now I think they probably built out their organization a bit. It's probably beyond Facebook, but that's where you can find them. And they talked about something called the Modern Monetary Theory, or MMT. And I know that they would probably be screaming at the top of their, screaming their heads off if they heard Abigail's dad talk about money as if, somebody Like you send your tax dollar and they go, okay, let's put this tax dollar over here. All right, who sends us more tax dollar? Oh, that came from Susan out there in Kentucky. Well, let's put that dollar over here. Like that's not. Like they really can't print money, and we do print money here. Just add something to a spreadsheet. It ain't even a spreadsheet, Johnson. I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to bring back on the MMT person. Maybe enough time has gone by. We could do that in order to. I don't know. We're gonna have to do some. We're gonna do some polling about some of our future shows because we gotta do some stuff. We gotta make some noise. We gotta shake up the world, Johnsons. Wow, that was it. I got everybody in the queue. My queue is empty right now. If you can see my queue, you would see that there are no callers in the queue. Give it up for every caller that called in tonight. And that was great. That's great. And everybody who donated to the show tonight, everybody who supports the show, all the Patreons. If it weren't for the Patreons, this would not be a show. So everyone who calls up and says great things about me or about the show, recognize that there are people that support this show, and those people also deserve that support and that love. So let's give it up for them. I don't care if it's $2 or $5 or $10 or $25 or if it's yearly, you guys are the ones that keep the show going. Because believe it or not, my pretty looks ain't keeping me in the house. I'm keeping this house overhead. So, I'm keeping the internet connection. We got a good internet connection now. And you guys like the phone systems and everything now that sounds a lot better and everything runs a lot smoother. That's because of the people that support the show. So, yes. I had to keep learning and learning stuff, but if it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't be a show. So now let's go to the comment sections. We got people on Facebook, got people on YouTube. You all did your thing tonight. Even some Facebook people called up. Man, that's what I'm talking about. So Tony D gave to the show, and Tony D said my interview with Ajamu Baraka was amazing. Well, thank you, Tony D. I appreciate you, man. And like, Ajamu's been on the show 3 or 4 times, man. I met Ajamu back in 2016. I interviewed him when he was running as Jill Stein's vice presidential candidate for the presidential election in 2016 for the Green Party. And we've been cool ever since. He's been on 3 times since then. And I want to keep bringing Ajamu back because, as I stated in the video, Ajamu, Baraka, Dr. Cornel West, these people, these are people I look to. These are my mentors, so to speak. Those are people that are my examples. My examples are not Roland Martin. Get it? My examples, the people that I look for inspiration. It's not Roland Martin or Don Lemon or Michael Eric Dyson or, you know what I'm saying? It's Ajamu Baraka and Dr. Cornel West. And Dave Chappelle. And Godfrey. And Corey Holcomb. Okay, Heavy Davey D said, tried to watch on Twitch, but nothing's showing there. Damn. Andre Gale, that movie was a condensed version of everything that's wrong with our country. There's only so long we can consistently behave like a banana republic before we actually turn into one. Man, you must be talking about that McDonald's movie. Andre Gale. Andre, bruh. That movie left me feeling so... Oh, man. He screwed them at the end. He literally screwed them the hell over at the end. Thank you, Andre. Andre's one of my moderators. He's one of my editors. It's getting late for me too, man. Thank you, Andre Gale. Kamali Rose. Radical Democracy. Nisi Moby gave to the show. Thank you, Nisi Moby. Bose Einstein 7 says, Biden pushed me to do so. Left needs to push hard. Biden said, push me to do so. The left needs to push hard. I guess. Kush says, let's not believe Bernie doesn't know what he's doing. Just like how the squad will take cover for leadership, Bernie will do the same when called upon. Winston Smith says, Juck Bo fighting. Winston Smith said, Juck Bo fighting. We Carrying Signs supports the show. Diana Rowley supports the show. Kerry Capitolo, I feel so glad I have my soul back. Yes, yes, yes. Gotta have soul. That's it. Chris M says, may not always agree with you, but I love your show. Keep up the great work. Hey, Chris. Hey, man. I don't agree with me all the time either, Chris. Join the party. I mean, I don't agree with my past self. I agree with my current self. I'm not, I don't have multiple personality disorder, but some of my past things, I don't always agree with them. I have, they say 20/20 vision is hindsight. A hindsight has 20/20 vision. So sometimes I look back, I don't agree. But it is what it is. We live, we learn, we grow, if we're lucky. Andre said, nothing but like Biden to make the land come out. Nothing like Biden to make the land come out, Cho. I know there was something there I need to get, but I don't know. Andre, I'm not getting that one, man. David Melford said, House passes $1.9 trillion printed money, COVID-19 Band-Aid aid bill with minimum wage and $1,400 check and $600 IOU and 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Vote source to Hill. We'll see. Wow, did that just happen, David Melford? David Melford, did that just happen? What's going on, David? Kelly M says, should have dropped this during an excellent interview with the inspiring Mr. Baraka. Thank you, Kelly M. Yeah, an amazing conversation with Ajamu. That plus my interview earlier with Janelle Wilkins, delegate out of Maryland. Another amazing conversation. Shosi100 says, TBTV is still the best alternative news source on the web for American politics, equal rights, and social justice issues. I'm also grateful for the wonderful people who call this show Respect. Wolfpack. That's what's up. Paul Engelbeck. Now, why come I can't read Paul's comment? Paul said, I love you, Brother Tim. Well, I love you back, Paul. Johnsons. All the Johnsons. We're all Johnsons, Johnson. Woo, it's 3 o'clock in the morning here on the Eastern Coast, the East Coast. And Eastern Standard Time, folks. We just keep doing it and doing it, don't we? Can I ask everybody who's watching the show right now, hit the like button somehow. Somehow, wherever you are, hit like. Facebook, give us a thumbs up. YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Right now, we're at 275 likes on YouTube. If everyone could just hit like. We're doing what we can right now with what we have. And that's something. And I know it doesn't seem like it's enough all the time. Believe me, I'm my own worst critic, or the most harshest critic is myself. But I believe that if we all do everything we can with what we have, we'll be further than where we are. Let me say that again. If we all do everything we can with what we have, we'll be further than we are. And that's all we can do, is move further than where we are. If we make that commitment to move it further than where we are, then someone will benefit. Someone watching this show benefits. Someone who doesn't have this show, but someone that you love will benefit. Someone who's not here, who may never, we may never meet them. They will benefit. Someone's child might benefit. Someone's spouse may benefit. Someone who's sick may benefit. Someone in jail may benefit. Someone wrongfully being accused may benefit. Someone somewhere may benefit from what we do. We don't always get the gratification of doing something and we seeing the exact result of it come right back. But you got to believe that you do the right work, you do the work, you put the work in, the outcome will show it. Somehow, some way. So that's what I think of every day. Folks, I'm going to be working harder and harder to do more and more. Join the Tim Black Wolf Pack. We have a cause. We have a reason for existing. It's not just to do it, not just to talk. It's not just about ourselves. It's about everyone. So let's keep that power going, man. I'm proud as hell of you guys. I'm proud of you all, Johnson. This show, we are bouncing back. We're doing the right things. And the best way to do it is double down on the people. That's all I'm doing. I'm doubling down on you guys. So with that, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Can I ask you to do me one more favor? It's been a while since I did this. Pick up the phone this weekend and call somebody you haven't spoke to for a while, maybe someone you've had a disagreement with, someone that you had a falling out with, and just apologize. That's it. I don't care what happened. It doesn't much matter. All I'm saying is, say whatever happened, I'm sorry it happened. Whatever I made you feel, however I made you feel, I wish that never happened. I want us to move forward. Can we move forward? I need you in my life. I care about you. I love you. Let's move past it. And take that weight off you, because where we're going, the work we got to do, we can't have old problems hanging around. We got to move to be better people, better selves. Be a better person yourself. And that's one way to do it. And I know we live in a cynical-ass world. People are like, oh, Tim, don't get all righteous on us. Nah, man. Sometimes you got to clear the books. Ain't nobody perfect. Sometimes you got to clear the books. Clear some books. And let's get to work. All right, guys. Nothing but love for you. Thank you, Ty Andrews. Thank you, Ty, for supporting the show, man. I just saw your comment. I can't see it. Thanks for the late show, Tim. You got it, Ty. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Tim Black's Wolfpack. Follow me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black at Night on Instagram. TimBlackTV.com. You can write me at tim@TimBlackTV.com. And I'm out of this. Peace. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.